Oh yeah, let's do 8.5. If it were you in that position, what would you do? You want to keep the 2.5 million? Yes or no? There's one spirit. There's something that just says, but I already, do you understand? And I actually did return all the money back to her. And I was accountable for every single naira that was spent. And she looked at me and said, I've never worked with someone like you before. And she paid me extra money. Do you understand? So in situations like that where you're a Christian and you know that there's much more profit than you had probably mapped out, what do you do in that situation? That tells you where you are with God. I believe that beyond just the four walls of the church where we are the righteousness of Christ, right? It also shows in every part of our lives down to our business. If it would mean that I'm going to cheat someone, I'm not going to do it. There's a consciousness, and I have built my brand around core values. This is something you must understand as a business owner. You must have core values that strengthen and align with your business and your person. You cannot separate Laura that you see in church and separate Laura that you see at work at 9 to 5 and separate Laura that you see with her business. I'm the same person. And so even at my place of work, because we deal with a lot of software, and we also deal with a part of our service that has to do with content. And so one of our business, and thankfully my boss is a Christian, so one of the it's just like an app like Canva where you can pick photos and make designs. And one of the things that we wrote in our contributors guideline is that we do not accept images that are provocative. Imagine a business like that, even though it would give you money, but you're really stated there that this is what I do not do, this is what I do. If you offer value as you should, nobody can negate. They can't argue with you and say, oh, I think you should do this. There are people who have compromised their faith because of money. Mammon. So I'm saying that if you're a believer, you must if you're going to build with God and build to last, you must learn to build on instructions, number one. You must also learn to build with the consciousness of God. That it is something that God will not allow me to do or allow me to be in this space. I don't want to do it. So make a list. Maybe you do it. Maybe you're here. You don't even have like core values that guide your business. You have to do that today. For me, it's integrity, it's honesty, it's excellence. It means that every project I execute, I cannot do less than what my values are saying I'm supposed to do. That's number one. Now, I also believe that beyond just I'm a Christian, I'm trying to build. See, I strongly believe that excellence is something that glorifies God. Whether you are paid to do it, in fact, whether you are underpaid to do it, if you do it excellently, you're glorifying God. Because God is a God of excellence. So even if I pay you maybe your services, maybe 500k, and I pay you 50k and say, this is what I have, right? God expects that you will deliver in a manner you deliver the job of 500k to me at 50k. Do you understand? You don't realize that when you do things excellently, even if nobody's watching or applauding you, one day a time will come where somebody will say, I know someone that can do this better. You don't realize that sometimes you can be toiling all night like Peter. You can put your skills at work. You can put your expertise, your years of experience. Your CV is great. But sometimes it takes just one thing, the grace of God. I've met people who have done business for years and years and years, and there's really nothing to show for it. And then just one day that God breathes upon your business, and you realize that the sales is crazy. Beyond just, I'm skillful, I've gotten all the certifications that I need, I'm pulling this together. There's something called grace. And that's why as a business owner, as a person, as a Christian, you cannot take away your faith. You cannot separate it from your person and your other parts of your life. If you do business without God, you can go crazy. Do you know that? Like you literally, sometimes I think about it. How am I meeting such a, why? That imagine just doing it without God and how you would have just insulted the person first, because you're like, I say, oh God, if not for the Holy Spirit, Laura, put yourself together. And you realize that there are many. Like I have this friend who's in. Someone says she's in real estate here. Anybody here? I have this friend. He owns a real estate company. And one time I went to his office, and they rake in billions of naira, remember my first meeting with them, we're having questions about money. I'm like, oh, these young boys are doing things for God. And solid faith, though, they're told, you want your business that you've built for years to crumble, do it. Like, you're going to actually be in debt. You know what he said to me? He said his company is trying to, at the moment, take a loan of, I think, 100 million naira or something. I don't know what they were doing, but in large amounts of money. And he's like, he doesn't want to do it, but his co-workers, his board members are saying, let's do this. And just been waiting on God for an answer. So you don't realize. So imagine if I was not sensitive, or maybe anyone else was not crazy, just comes to me, I just do it now. It's not just 100 million. The profit is blah, 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 blah. See, it's not all profit and all money that is yours sometimes. You must sit with God to make decisions. No matter how enticing the contract is, no matter how beautiful it is, the profit is, or whatever it is, you must sit with God and ask. And he told me, he said, Laura, thank you. Because it's like the lawyers had finalized everything. In fact, ESCC car, they took him to their office. That's how crazy it was. Right? And just imagine you as a Christian dealing with tons of money like that, and you're not sensitive to what the Lord is saying. You will be ruined. And that's why I go back to building on instruction. There's nobody that wants to build with God and does not build to last. There's always, and that's what the Bible says, oh, when the wind comes, sometimes it finds it and then it blows it off. Whatever you're building must be solid. Lastly, as I wrap up, it's okay to pivot. See, the Bible says that at a point in the life of the Israelites, the Lord was leading them with a cloud of fire, right? And then whatever. And then the Bible says that when it stopped, they stopped. When he moved, they moved. You must learn to move with God and stop with God. You must be open to detours and navigations. Sometimes God tells you that, oh, this one I've been building for a long time, stop it, do something else. It's okay. Like, it's actually okay. It is very much okay. I know someone who recently, maybe you might know her, recently had built like a very great brand. And she said God told her to stop, and then she stopped. She heard the Lord say she should stop, to start the business. Like, she heard God say start to do it. She built, and God said stop, and she stopped. And people started saying that, Shebi, you said God said you should start the business. Why are you not closing down the business? And I'm like, I don't know. Is it you that heard God? Or is it your business? Is it you that heard the voice of God? Listen, this is why your conviction must be stronger than your feelings. Because sometimes you are faced with situations that say, but I've been doing this and people know me that I'm doing this. But I've told the world that you sent me to do this. You must see, if you don't learn to build a conviction above your feelings, you will go with what you feel above what God's asking you to do. And in the end, it is your destruction. That's why the Bible says that there's the way that seems right unto man, it looks like the right way. There's no difference. It feels like it. And Satan is so great at packaging opportunities that feel like that's what God's asking you to do. And you realize that after taking that decision without praying, you made the wrong decision. Do you understand? So it's okay to pivot. Like, I've done many things, like with my life. First, I was doing, do I want to go and learn a skill? And then I was and start baking. You guys know gourmet twist? Like, imagine me saying I want to go and, like, it doesn't make me a bad person. I just know where I'm not supposed to be. John the Baptist said that I'm not the one to come. I'm just the one who was making a way for him. He knew who he was not. So know what you're not supposed to do and don't even bother. And at every point in your life, ask the Lord, is this what I'm supposed to do? No matter how little that money is. I think when the matter was saying something that, if I knew that she's going to be troublesome. I can't remember what client she was dealing with, but I don't know how she does it. She's always shouting. I can't do that thing she's doing because come and collect your money. Just take your money. Right? And she's like, if I used to, she wouldn't be troublesome. I wouldn't even bother by saying to her. Like, this is the things like things that, I should not have done that. The little things. Do you understand? So in as much as you think it's just a business, sometimes that's how God is also glorifying himself through your life. Do you understand? The Bible says that the gift of a man maketh room for him. I also believe that every gift that you steward, not just a dormant gift, to make room for you. For me now, I'm always saying that, because one of the reasons why I didn't want to do so much with not just, and I think I spoke to Martha about it, not just my business, but like my person as a person. I don't like the attention that impact brings. I actually hate it. I was speaking to my father in the Lord recently. I said, is there a way I could make impact without the visibility? And he said, you can't hide greatness. If God wants you to be at the forefront of things, then that's how it's going to be. So, and you know that with God, you can't do God and even business on personalities. Now, for me, I'm a very introverted person. If I'm doing Matt's closet, if she hires me to do to take over Matt's closet, it will crumble. Because all that showing up online, oh, buy what I'm selling, is a new arrival, is not my strength. Like, I'm too introverted for these things. But also realize that sometimes we lose out because we attach personalities to impact. Do you understand? So I say, oh, I don't want to do too much. I'm just a very quiet person. I don't want to do so much. Let me just be quiet about my business. Nobody will know what you're doing. And if you're not in a circle where everybody is a millionaire, you can just say, oh, I know this person. It won't work by referrals. It will be that you are constantly carrying your back. So when you see me from January next year, just know that I told myself that no, Laura, this personality is not going to put food on your table. You're gonna open your mouth. You're gonna tell them, this is what I do. Put it on your head. Do you understand? As I get up from your front, because I've said lastly, right? I believe that everyone here is graced to do what they're doing, and one of the things that the Lord said to me that has guided me as a believer, start to end, is that oftentimes you see other people doing what you're doing, and you're doing far better than how you're doing. Or even people that started maybe like 2 years after you, you've been doing something for a while, and then they're doing like they're just starting. And you see their progress. It is very easy to drift from what you're doing to what the other person doing, because you feel like that's a level of progress you're trying to attain, right? But one day God said to me that, Laura, if you see somebody in front of you, you're starting a race together, and that person is flying, right? If I tell you, Laura, crawl, you are right on time. That's speed. The Bible says that those that wait upon the Lord, He will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings. He's saying that acceleration is not in running, it's in waiting. Is saying that as far as I heard the Lord say, Laura, crawl, I am faster than the person that thinks that just because they got to the finish line, I'm behind. You will say, oh, Laura, you're so behind me, but you don't realize that I heard the Lord, so it's okay. And that's why if they don't hear the voice of God, if they didn't hear what God said to you, they must not be able to talk you out of what He sent you to do. In the same manner that God told Mary that, oh, you're going to carry a son, blah, blah, blah. Imagine this generation. I'm not married yet. You people know that, oh, she's always doing Slay Queen conference. She's always saying, keep yourself pure. And you see me with a baby bump. Hey, God, no, I'm not ready. Let me not practically. And you see me with a baby bump, right? Right? And in this generation where I am preaching to you and saying, stay pure, keep yourself for the Lord. You see a bump. You didn't hear what God said to me. Will you not think that I'm crazy to come and stand before you and say, keep yourself for God? You will gossip about me. You will open group chats. You will gossip about me. You will send my posts to your saves. One day Martha said that. I think when she got her car, somebody now mistakenly sent what they wanted to send to their friend. And I'm like, and that's how God exposes people. And then you now send that to me, you send it to somebody, and you realize that the talks are going on. I should feel like, God, something is wrong. But you know why I will not feel that way? Because I heard the Lord. You didn't hear God. So you can't talk me out of what I heard. I must stay with what I heard. And that's what strengthens my conviction. So on the days that you feel like, God, this business is not doing what you're supposed to do, remember what God said to you when you were starting. If you feel like, God, I'm exhausted, I want to give up, go back to that's why you're saying journal. Go back to your journal. What did the Lord say to you? Recently, I was feeling so lost and so down. I went back to 2020. I started reading, and God said, and I was feeling strength well up in my body. My passion is back. My zeal is back. Sometimes what you are looking for is in what you already wrote down. You've forgotten. So go back to it. And I pray for you today that even as we go on, as we progress, as you write down your dreams, what God is saying to you, I pray that you remember these words and it will follow your passion to go further. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. That was so. Who's going to give me the word? What was that? Yeah, closest to me. I am going to be my best friend. Okay, you have a mic. Perfect. I'm looking for the word. That was so. That was so what?
So impactful,
Mm,
deep.
mm,
Because it just made me remember a lot of things. Made me
mm,
remember a lot of things.
mm. Love it. Love it. That was what you were saying. Something that I
I
didn't
just
get.
said enlightening.
Enlightening. Okay, okay. I believe that even as we were hearing her speak, right, we were getting questions, I was like, this thing she said, that's true. I need to stop doing this. I need to start doing this. And I trust that we will not just hear, right? We will apply. And it's about to even, get better because we're about to go into a practical session, right? How many of us have seen people that sell stuff like there's somebody else promoting their stuff, maybe like an influencer or something, and you're just like, how do people used to get like influencers to like promote their stuff? Or you've maybe even tried, you paid somebody and then they ate your money, they did not post the video for you or something, or you did it and it not even work, and you're like, I beg, all this influencer thing is like a waste. I'm really not even going to spend my money there. Or you're just like, this 2025 is my year. Me and my market, I'm going to promote it like Laura. I'm going to carry it on my head. And you just feel like your own head is not enough. You want to collect other people's heads to help you to promote it, right? And you're just like, okay, this influencer marketing thing, how exactly do I go about it? We've traveled far and wide, east and west, to bring, one of the best. If you people follow me to argue, I will even say the best in influencer marketing game, right? To you today, and we're going to be learning the in and outs of influencer marketing, right? Marketing, but then how to bring, other people, how to even make your customers your influencers. Some of you, you're always begging your customers, oh, wear clothes and tag me. They don't want to. They don't. So today, part of the things you will learn, you will be able to apply it, right? You'll be able to apply it. Now, our next speaker is Elena. She's a creative entrepreneur and influencer marketing expert. She is the visionary behind, Natural Hair Rocks, and she has catered to over 30,000 black women worldwide. She has a passion. I'm going to read it. She will be here and she will hear me give her all her flowers, right? She has a passion for empowering women through beauty and talk. She's been in this for over 6 years. It's not a joke, right? Now, because of her unique approach to business and all of the data-driven strategies she's aware of, she's been able to leverage all of this to build her influencer marketing is to helping brands harness the power of social media to drive this. Has brought the plenty out of experience. So bring out your notes, open your brain, because she'll be sharing how to practical strategies literally on how to use influencer marketing and real world wisdom that can transform how you're doing your business in 2025. So you know how we do it, right? We're going to stand up and then we're going to clap and welcome, Elena. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. My name is Elena. I am an entrepreneur. I own a hair company called Natural Hair Rocks. We produce Afrocentric pieces for black women. I also work in marketing as an influencer marketing strategist. I own a marketing agency called the Influencer Marketing Hub Africa, where we help brands achieve marketing goals by partnering with community-driven influencers. So before I continue here, I just want to have an idea of the business that you guys do. So maybe one or two people can just tell me your name and what you do. And also how long you've been running your business. Who wants to go first, or do you want me to pick? Okay, you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Um, my business name is Dino Sense.
Sorry?
Dino Sense.
Okay.
My initials and Sense. I
Okay.
sell perfumes,
Okay.
and I've been doing that since I've been selling perfumes since 2021.
21, that's 3 years, yeah?
Yeah, 20. Let's say 2021. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Please give her the mic because she's looking at me, so.
Hi, my name is Abisola. I have a clothing brand. It's called Ashomi. We sell like clothes with a cultural and timeless blend. I launched today.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Are you wearing a design from there? Oh, that's beautiful. Well done. Okay, who else? Anyone else wants to tell me what they do and how long they've been running their business? You? Yes.
Okay.
My name is Koforola, and I am the face behind Cope's Glam. So I mostly deal with accessories, jewelry, bags, sunglasses, anything to just make the stylish lady look more
Yeah.
classy, confident, sophisticated.
And how long have you been running the business?
So I relaunched a year, 4 months ago.
Okay.
I was doing it, but I stopped totally when I went to NYC and all of that. So when I got back, I relaunched.
All right, perfect.
The
All
year,
right,
4 months.
it's a good thing to see that. I mean, some of you have been in businesses for quite a bit. Anyone here worked with an influencer before? Just raise your hand. None of you. Have you worked with an influencer to promote your business? None. Do you have plans to do that? Wait, what marketing strategies do you use at the moment?
So that
Sponsored ads? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all, yeah?
Referrals, like those customer
Referrals.
reviews and all of that.
Okay. So does anyone plan to partner with influencers in 2025? Yeah? Who else? You? And what do you do? The lady with the, yeah, what do you do? Juries. Okay. All right, awesome. All right, so for the benefit of those that don't know what influencer marketing is, I'm just going to explain in the lamest term. Influencer marketing basically means leveraging I would most likely partner with a beauty influencer because they already have an existing community. They're constantly creating content with regards to beauty, easy makeup, how to get a very easy face bit. So I know that when I launch or before I launch, right, and I partner with these influencers, they already have an existing community. These people already follow them for a certain reason, and over the years, they've been able to build that trust, right? I know that when I partner with this influencer over a period of time, I'm able to take out of that community to buy my product and service. This is just like a very easy term with regards to influencer marketing. So do you understand what it means here? So the component, the two important components with regards to influencer marketing. Do I have to use this? My voice is very loud. I don't get it because what? Oh, because of stream. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, the two most important components is community and trust. If you just work with anybody because they have a couple amount of followers, yeah, and you don't have a community, you might end up just spending money and seeing little or no results. So I believe everybody has a better understanding of what influencer marketing is, yeah? Yeah, great. So let's go to the common mistakes that a lot of businesses make. So before I started my agency, let me just give you a background story. Before I started my agency, I was doing my business. my company is Natural Hair Rock. So what we do is we make wigs that look and feel like your natural hair. So I remember at that time, I used to have, because I was just starting, I just left school, I was just starting out. I used to have a lot of people, a lot of issues with regards to trust. A lot of people wanted to pay on delivery, or if I don't see the product, I mean, obviously we're in Nigeria, you know how it is here. So they wanted to see the product before like they buy, which is valid, yeah. But then we had issues where we deliver a product to a customer, and then when they go there, they just ghost. So I remember like thinking, okay, besides just running ads, what else can I do to make people trust me as a business person? It was just me doing everything. I was the social media manager, I was the content creator, I was everything. So I was like, okay, what can I do to make people trust the brand more? And I believe that when they trust the brand more, they would want to, buy my product. So I remember reaching out to, there's this influencer that was, pretty popular at that time, and that was that time where skit was kind of like a big thing. Like, it just started out, and I remember, going on social media, and I saw that this lady was celebrating her birthday. So I reached out to her team. I was like, oh, hi, my name is Elena. I introduced myself, my brand. I love this person, and I would like to gift her some of my products. At that time, we were just selling hair products. We had not pivoted to extensions. So the company, I believe that was her manager, responded. I was like, oh, sure, that's fine. This is the address, and you can send the products to her. I mean, I just sent the products to her. I had forgotten about it. I was just doing my business. I just remember that one time I woke up one morning, and then there was just so many like messages, and I'm like, okay, did anybody, at the time call out was very like any small thing. I was like, okay, did anybody, because it was unusual. So I was like, okay, what happened? Did anybody call me out? And then I just realized that people were asking for a particular product. It had not clicked that this traffic was coming from somewhere. So I was like, this was not normal. God, it's like God has answered one of my prayers, because at that time I was like, God, show me if this is the business you want me to do, because I don't know. So I just remember that we sold at that time. This was actually a long time ago, over 5 years, yes. At that time, we sold, I think it was like noon-ish, and then we had sold about 150,000 naira. That was a lot of money at that time. So how I knew that this was coming from this person was somebody now messaged me on WhatsApp. She's like, oh, I've been trying to reach out to you. This person said that this product is what she used to grow her hair. I want to buy it. So I did not know the person. She just sent a screenshot. Apparently, the person posted our product on her Snapchat. She just sent me a screenshot of this person's snap, and then I now saw the name. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. This was where all the traffic was coming from. So I noticed something at that day. Nobody asked me if I had a store. Nobody asked me if I was a scam or not. Nobody asked me, are you sure this product? Because this person said this product worked for her, it was. I was like, so this is how this, at that time, like I said, I just finished uni. I was still like trying to find my place, whether this was the business. I wasn't very sure with what I wanted to do. So okay, maybe God, maybe this is a sign. So I did not know what that marketing was called. I was like, okay, if this thing works, then I'm sure there's something to it. So I remember when we, after that happened, my business just like kicked off, and people started like, a lot of people started like ordering the products. When we pivoted from products to hair extensions, I remember randomly scrolling through Instagram, and then the Holy Spirit ministered to me, send this lady your product. I reached out to her, and then I introduced myself. My name is this is what I do. We recently just launched our wigs, and I would love you to try our product and let me know what you think about it. We sent the products to her, and that was a different ball game altogether. She wore the wig. She did not mention. I'm going to talk about that. This happens also within small businesses where they send products to influencers, and then you're not paying, obviously, because maybe you don't have that budget yet. since you're just starting out, and then you're following the influencer. When are you going to post? I gave you my product for free. Why didn't you? Do you understand? We'll talk about that. But then I sent her the product and it's like, I want you to try my product out and let me know what you think about it. She was on her Insta story on Instagram and she was saying something. I don't know what she was saying, where I didn't even watch the video. But a lot of people were asking her, that wig on your hair, where's the wig from? Where's the wig from? She had to do a video. It's like, guys, like what I'm saying, nobody's even listening to me. This wig is from Natural Hair. Okay, this thing works. I now knew that, okay, this is called influencer marketing. I started like that, like that. I made a lot of mistakes, which we're going to talk about. I made a lot of mistakes and I was able to learn from the mistakes. At that time, not a lot of brands were investing in influencer marketing, and those that were investing in influencer marketing were just investing in celebrities. And because we're just starting out, we're a small business, we did not have that budget to partner with bigger celebrities. So that's just a background story of how I started my business with influencers. Yeah. So what are the mistakes that a lot of businesses make with regards to influencer marketing? One of them would be diving into influencer marketing with little or no knowledge. Now, because the first two experiences were great, I assumed that all I needed to do was reach out to somebody, send my product. When they post, there's just going to be traffic on my page. But it wasn't like that for all the other people that I reached out to. I got to know that it's not every influencer that has not followers. It's not every influencer that have that power to drive in traffic after one post. For some influencers, you have to partner with them over a period of time. So you need multiple posts, right? And it's not every influencer that you partner with. Very, very important, right? It's not every influencer you partner with. Before you partner with any influencer, you as a brand, you as a business, you need to have an idea of who your customer is. Who am I trying to serve? Or who do I hope to serve, right? You're going to have to, develop your different customer personas, right? Because I believe it's not just one person you're speaking to. When you have a better understanding of who your customers are, when you find an influencer, you can see if this influencer aligns with your brand goal and values. If this influencer's followers or community aligns with the community that you're trying to reach. So that's one mistake. Another mistake would be investing so much quickly. And we see this with a lot of businesses. Because you have no knowledge with regards to influencer marketing, you just sign anybody. You just sign a brand ambassador, you pay them millions of naira, and then when you see no results, you go on a rant that influencer marketing doesn't work. Influencer marketing works when you do it well. Obviously, influencer marketing will not work when you just sign anybody. So it's very important that, number one, you have a great understanding of influencer marketing. Is it the right time for you to partner with influencers? Some people, it's not. So for some businesses, you may need to wait and try to build your own community, and then you can now outsource the help of influencers. So lack of knowledge, one, investing so much. The third one would be emotional and no boundaries, especially with small businesses. So because of maybe you're the only one running the business at that time, yeah, sometimes you can have no boundaries when you're working with influencers. You're having all the conversations by DM, there is no legal work, there's nothing to protect your business. Because there are scenarios where you'd reach out to an influencer, you pay the influencer, and the influencer will not post. What are you going to do about it? When there was no contracts, there was nothing at all, you just called the person, because you think the person is your friend. Oh, please, don't forget to help. No. if you're doing this, you have to do it the right way. We'd say for every conversation, do everything via email. Even if it's just you, when it was just me running my business, everything was done via email. You reach out to the influencer. If you're paying them, ensure that you have everything in your legal work, the content, the type of content that you're paying the influencer for, the duration of the partnership, how much are you paying them. Everything should be stated, clearly stated. If the influencer says their charge for a video is 150,000 naira, for example, and you negotiate to 100,000 naira, state it. So everything, because we've had scenarios where you negotiate with an influencer, yeah, that this is how much that you're going to pay. And then when it comes to payment, when you pay, you're like, oh, no, but this is not how. So to avoid that back and forth, everything should just be done professionally. Please don't send anybody a DM that I want to work with you. No. If you're going to reach out to anybody, I wanted to serve people who wanted to wear wigs that looks like their hair. I wasn't just very, you have to be very, very specific. Give them a name. Where do they live? How much do they make? If you possible, what car do they drive? Because it would give you a very, very clear understanding on your brand tone, your marketing, your messaging, everything, even how you do your branding. So one thing that you need to realize that for some influencers, so sometimes when you reach out to certain influencers, they don't respond to you. Why? Because they've gone through your page and they see that your brand doesn't align with them. A lot of businesses, when you go to their page, it's just everything is happening. It's just so much this, that, everything. Now, I would not tell you this is how you market your product or service. You go to some people's page, it's just they're the face of their brand. When you go to our page, I'm not the face of my brand because I'm not the one handling my business. At the earlier stage, I literally was the model of my business, but I knew that I did not want to be the face of my business. So they reached out to us. The agency that they hired reached out to us to outsource the influencer marketing to us. So they had a list of people that they wanted to work with. So sometimes when brands come to work with the agency, that's IMH now, they have a list of the influencers, potential influencers that they want to work with. So one of the things that we do during our consulting phase is that we ask questions. Okay, why do you want to work with this influencer? Say, can't you see that they have 1.5 million followers? Can't you see? So you see, it's not just a small business mistake. Even the big brands make it too. Now the thing is, I would not say having a lot of followers is wrong. Obviously, if an influencer has a lot of followers, good credit. But that's not the only thing that you should look out for when you're looking for an influencer to partner with. Followers are just vanity metrics. You also need to know some people also buy followers here, and then some influencers. Let me give an example. Let's say a beauty influencer. People know her for beauty, and then she creates a controversial post, and that post goes viral, right? And maybe that controversial post is not somewhat relating to beauty. And then you see lots of people that follow her from that. They have no business. So you see that in her audience, it's just a diverse, like different type. So that's why it's not just followers that you look at. One of the things that we look out for when we're hiring influencers for our brands and even for the business too as well is their community. Who are the people that follow them? How can you find that? You check their followers. So also use a software, but I'm not going to talk about that because most of you in this room are like small business owners. So I'll just take the very basic things. The people that are following them. Who are the people that are following them? Go through their follower list, right? Go through their comment section. So for example, this influencer you want to partner with, she worked with a brand before. She was supposed to advertise a clothes. She did the content, and then you go through the comment section. There is nothing relating to, nobody's asking questions. I mean, that's something that you're going to have to look out for, because you know that when you work with that person, okay, let me give you a very, very funny example, right? You want to partner with an influencer, created a sponsored content for a clothing brand, and all of the comment section, there is no questions about the clothing. They're talking about something else. You're just seeing emojis. You know that there's a higher tendency that when you work with that influencer too, so people are not going to, you just see 1,000 likes, but there is no traffic. Nobody's even asking questions, or you just see get that back, sis. Well to go, like nothing. So it's just these are things that you actually need to look out for, because you know now influencer marketing has gotten very expensive. Yeah, everybody knows their worth now. Everybody's charging. So you know that if you're going to pay anybody any amount of money, you know that you're getting value for that money. So go through that. Those are things that we look out for. Their community, the kind of content that they create. It's not everybody that you partner with your business. Look at the kind of content that they create. My products can be 10,000 naira, right? And that's why there was a lot of people bought. And then the same product you're selling it for 50,000 naira, and you already know that you use the same influencer that I use, thinking that you're going to get the same traffic. It doesn't work that way. So working with influencers because they worked for somebody else, or because somebody in business recommended them for you, it's something that you have to go back to your drawing table. Does this influencer align with my brand goal and values? Do they create content that resonates with them? Do they create high quality content? Because you know that you're also paying for access to the content. And when you obtain usage rights is you're telling them, oh, I want to use your content to run ads on Facebook, or I want to use your content on my newsletter. So ensure that, are they creating quality content that you can repurpose? Some influencers are not very great when it comes to content creation. So those are the things that you look out for too as well. So that's a summary of some of the mistakes that a lot of businesses make, or small businesses make, when it comes to influencer marketing. So how can you leverage influencer marketing to see growth? How can you do it right? Number one is get the desired knowledge. What is an influencer? We've already said that. The types of influencers we have 4 types. We have the mega influencers. Those are your celebrities. We have the macro influencers. We have the micro influencers, and we have the nano influencers. What is the difference between all of these influencers is the number of followers that they have. And because of their followers are different in terms of numbers, their pricing is different. As a small business, for example, you may not have the budget to hire a mega influencer. You can start small. You can start with a nano influencer. You can start with a micro influencer, and then you grow. One of the things that we did with the business, Natural Hair Rocks, when we started, was we partnered with mostly micro and nano influencers. We had 3 influencers that we worked with for a period of 3 years, I believe, and then we were just rotating. We had these 3 people that we worked with, and then we would rotate in the sense that we would add maybe 1 or 2 nano influencers. So let me tell you about the power of working with influencers. When you work with the right influencers, influencers that have community, cult-like community. Let me add to that, because there's community and there's cult-like community. There are influencers that, because they are very vulnerable, because they are very authentic, because they tell their truth, their followers love them, die. Permit me to use that word here. Whatever they say this is the product that works, they are going to buy it. So because these influencers that we partnered with had a cult-like community, people started reaching out to us. Hi, I love your product. I want to work with your brand, right? And that's one thing that would most likely happen when you work on your branding. I cannot overemphasize, your branding is very, very important. When I go to your page, what's the first thing that comes to my mind? Those are things that you need to look out for. How does your feed look like? Are you selling clothes and then you're putting the clothes on the floor? Right, so you have to be very, very, very mindful about your branding. Even if, do you want to ask a question? No. Even if you don't have a lot of budget at first, you can work with what you have. I remember at that time when I started my business, I did not have any money per se with regards to marketing. Like I said, I was just fresh out of the university. I was doing content at my backyard, right? If I go out, I'll do videos. I'll tell my friend, help me to do a video. But I know that whenever I create content, I did not come to the page looking like my problems, right? Because it's very, 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 very important that your branding is on point. So yeah, when I was saying, when we worked with this influencers for over a period of time, we had people with influencers not reaching out to us that they wanted to work with us. Now, because you already, like I said, the first thing is knowledge. Know the basics with regards to influencers, the type of influencers. Why do you want to work with an influencer? Very important. Why do you want to work with an influencer? Are you trying to drive traffic to your website? Do you have a website? You have a website? Just you? Anybody else? You guys on that side? Are you with us? Anyone? Do you guys have a website? Four years ago is not working now. So how do you stay up to date with this new market trend? So when you're partnering with influencers, put this in mind. Like I said initially, we had 3 influencers that we worked with over a period of time. And then because we worked with them repeatedly, we had other influencers come to us and say, we want to work with you. So that's a good thing about partnering with cult-like influencers that have cult-like community, or influencers that have community. Other people would want to work with you as well. Then budget. Budget is very, very important. How much are you willing to spend? How much are you willing to spend on your influencer marketing? If you're just starting out, what I would say is do product seeding. Product seeding basically means sending out your product to certain influencers. Now, you just need to be very sure of the influencers that you want to reach out to. Make a draft. You can go on TikTok. Oh, are you guys on TikTok too? No? Who? Your business. Oh, please, if you run like a beauty people on the beauty, if you want a beauty, skincare, hair care, please get on TikTok. Why TikTok? The algorithm is very favorable for small businesses. You can literally do a content and then sync it with a trending song, put a caption, and it will just like it's as opposed to Instagram. I would always recommend TikTok. So ensure that you can just go on TikTok and just find out and see. You can check brands within your industry and find out how they create their content, and then you just start creating content. Day in my life as business owner. Just tell us background story. You just launched your business. What inspired you to launch your business? Those are the things that you do. Storytelling, this helps you to also build your community, because you know that your community is also your influencers. People that follow, people that buy from you are also your influencers, because sometimes when our customers buy from us, our customers also have people that are following them. And if I buy something from a brand, for example, and I like the product, and I share this, I get this dress, for example, I wear it, I post on my Instagram story, people ask me, where is this product from? Do you understand? So that's why it's very good that you also build your community. And how do you build your community? Through your storytelling, through consistency. Consistency is key. Not just post one day and then you're tired. Consistency is key. How are you going to post? Are you posting every day? Are you posting once in a week? Ensure that you're very consistent in whatever it is that you're doing. Draft a budget. How much are you willing to spend? Focus on your community. Select only ideal influencers. I think we've spoken about that. Select only the ideal influencers that you know that resonate with your brand goal and values. Pick the right social media platform. You can't be everywhere. Just pick 2 platforms that you believe that works for you. Is it Twitter that works for you? Is it Instagram that works for you? Is it TikTok that works for you? Pick a platform that works for you and then run your influencer marketing campaigns on there. Documentation. It's very, very important that you take note of all the influencers that you work with. So what we used to do at that time when we just started is we had a spreadsheet, and then we imputed all the influencers that we hired to work with the brand, and then we're able to track the insights, how much traffic, how much sale, based on, we had created a UTME league. I'm not trying to dive up, it's a bit technical, but then if you're just starting, track. You can easily track. You can also tell them that you send your insights. They can send a screenshot of the insights. So if, for example, an influencer does a post and they tag you, this collaborative tag, where yes, you can also see the insights, how many saves, how many shares. This helps you to know whether to work with that influencer again. This helps you to know, okay, did this influencer bring traffic? If you work with 3 influencers, for example, you can able to tell, oh, this person did not really do well. I think we're just going to stick with this influencer. So documentation is very important. And when you now grow, you can now use softwares to do that. But if you're just starting out, you can just do that too as well. And then repeat process. I think one of the misconceptions with regards to influencer marketing is pick an influencer, when they post, you're going to blow. It doesn't happen that way. For some people, yes, one influencer can literally change your business, but it doesn't always work that way. So consistency is key. Ensure that you do this repeatedly. If you don't have a big budget, like I said, you can always leverage on your community, and your community is your customers. So ensure that your customer service is great, and then you can just tell your customers that if you create content, I recently bought from a brand, and they had in their box that if I share their products on my story, I get 10% off my next purchase. So these are ways that you can also do to also get UGC, user-generated content, that you can repurpose for your marketing. That's just a summary of everything. Please let me know if you have any questions here. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. All right, good. Yeah. Great question. So I'm going to use an example using my business. Natural Hair Rocks, we have Twitter, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have Pinterest. What's that social media platform? What? Yes, we're on YouTube. So when we started our influencer marketing on Instagram, right? And then when we pivoted to the international market, so at the moment, when we started Natural Hair Rocks, we're just dealing with customers in Nigeria. But I think it was 2020, I'm not sure what year, I think 2021, we moved from just serving the Nigerian market to serving the international market. And our three core markets is the UK, the US, and France. So at that time, we're just pivoting slowly. We used YouTube. Why did we use YouTube? We use YouTube for evergreen content, so that when you search for certain keywords, the brand, if you set it like kinky ponytails, like our videos, and then it will drive the traffic back to the website. So when TikTok launched, we're just experimenting with the platform, and then we partnered with two influencers in the US, and it just boom. The influencer posted on TikTok and then posted on Twitter. The content went viral on both platforms. But from everything that we realized that we get more traffic on TikTok and Instagram. How are we able to know? We track our Shopify backend. Any question again? Okay.
But it can get really overwhelming sometimes because I also run a 9 to 5. So mixing both actually it's overwhelming. I'm the only one working for the business right now. Content creator, marketing, everything. So how do I make people buy from the website more? Because right now everybody wants to talk to whoever they are shopping from. They want to get into the DM, ask a lot of questions, and then shop, which is fine. But I just really want people to utilize the website more, and I don't know how to go about it.
Let me tell you what we did. Just like you, I was the only one running my business. I was doing everything. When we had our first website, it was still an issue. When they send a DM and they want to buy, they're like, we say go to the website. Like, oh no, I don't want to put my card in everything. So what we did is when we worked on our branding, right? You go to our page, you already see how it is. When you reach out, for example, and say, can we place an order? No. You only use. We had to enforce it. So there is no. It will take a while, but they're going to adjust to it. So we enforced it. So everybody knows that you're going to buy from the website, right? Even if you send a DM and say, oh, sometimes people send DMs like, oh, we want to buy products. Can I get a link to this? Now, because we've done this over a period of time, sometimes when they send a DM, like, can I get a link to this particular product? So it just takes time, but you just need to enforce that. Or do you want to continue saying, this is my account number? But if you're okay with that, you can. But the people I have friends that are in businesses, they're doing well, and they still have like interactions via DM and still close their sales via DM. But we don't do that because so it takes time. You eventually have to enforce it. All right, yeah, question.
Hello. Okay. Thank you very much, Ma, for everything you've said. And I would like to bring out something with all the beautiful things you said. I think, okay, if we are implementing these things in our business, you've mentioned it earlier, consistency. Consistency is the key. Because I'm the kind of person that, okay, I get the ginger to post.
What do you do?
Particularly. I'm a realtor. I'm into real estate. And at the same time, I'm a baker and an hairstylist. So I merged the three together. So
Sorry, you met the three on one page?
no,
Oh.
different. I have my different.
Okay.
So like I manage the three businesses by myself. Okay. So sometimes like I get the ginger to post, do everything, apply all my energy today, and I'm not getting encouragement. I'm not getting positive responses, and I would relax. Maybe I'll switch to the next business. Then the next week again, I'll pick up again. Sometimes I might be off for like a month. So, like, I really want to ask, how do we really get to be consistent with all these things you said? Even after all the knowledge we've acquired, how do we really, even when we get tired and we know the right things to do, the problem now is to implement it and not just implementing it to be consistent. How do we get to be consistent?
Okay, so I would say you'd ask the Holy Spirit for help, right? And you also know that, I mean, faith without works is dead, right? So even if you ask the Holy Spirit, discipline is very important. If you know that sometimes your mood switches, there's this, I can't remember what it is. There's this scheduling app where you just put your content. You know what the name is? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then it just, yes, it just, yeah, so you can just schedule the post one day, schedule everything, and then it will just help you to like post it. But you have to force yourself. What I used to tell myself during the early phase of my business, when I was just the one doing everything, was like, okay, I know where I'm going. I know what I want for this business. God has told me what I wanted for this business, and whether because there were times where we're not getting any like response, any positive response. But I was just looking at. I know that one day, share. Do you understand? So ensure that you've asked the Holy Spirit to help you to be consistent, and then discipline, and then you can use all of those scheduling apps to help you to do that. And then also one thing, batch create content, so you can pick a day or 2 days and then just create all the content for the baking page, the real estate page, and the hairstyling page. And you can also outsource somebody. You don't have to pay per se. You can leverage on your relationship. I believe you have friends. You can leverage on your relationship and say, okay, please come and do this for me. Trade by barter. Like when it was just me running my business, I had a friend that was a makeup artist. We'd come together. She would do the makeup. I would do the hair, and they would create the content. She can use the content on her own page, and I would use the content on my. So do you understand? So that's how we're doing till we're able to afford to hire people to run on this. So you can just start with we work with what you have. Any more questions, please? Okay, no more question. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Elena. You guys are not clapping like grateful people. And I want to believe that we're already thinking and putting two and two together like, okay, maybe 2025 might be the year that I would, in quotes, blow with my brand by leveraging influencer marketing here. So I want us to do two things. How many of us have these cards and you've not used your own? Because that's very important. How many of us have used ours? Okay. Martha, can you help me just pass it there? So, we're going to do something really kind, right? You know how. Okay. I'm not showing. So, you know how, as business owners, and does everyone have, just to confirm? Okay. You don't have? Who else doesn't have? Okay. Are we here? Are we here? Okay. Breathe, everybody. Now, you know how, as business owners, right? Like, you can be having a bad day and you just get one really nice message or review or compliment that just transforms, your whole world. Like, it just makes you feel like, oh, this thing that I'm doing, it actually makes sense. Who has experienced that? I've had so many times, I can just be having like a rough day and then someone just sends a testimonial and I'm like, oh, that's the reason why I'm doing this thing. So I want us to take these notes, right? And we're going to write a kind note to someone here. You don't know who you're writing it to, just address it to I will find who wrote it. Do we understand? Do I need to say it again? Okay. DJ, can you just give us like, some danceable, tiny music to ease the air? Now, while we're doing that, I've been told that people don't want to collect my gift. Earlier, I had promised that if you make a video during the session and you tag Blooming Purpose, I was going to give to some people, boys. Like, if people want me to go back with the Rolls Royce that I brought. So if there's anything you've gotten from the session, maybe your notes, anybody speaking, any speaker session that stood out for you, I just need you to go to your Instagram story and tag Blooming Purpose. Or if you're a TikTok girly or you're a content creator, in all the posts that you're creating, don't forget to tag Blooming Purpose and Matter the Light. Okay? Thank you so much. Have we written? Please give us a soft sound. Have we written?
Isn't it just like heaven when you walk into the room? There's not a thing that's hidden when every eye is on you. Can't get enough of your presence. It's the perfect point of view. Isn't it just like heaven? Come a little closer, stay a little longer. I can't get enough of you. Come a little closer, stay a little longer. I can't get enough of you. Doesn't it sound like heaven when you're singing over me? There's not a voice more constant. Your melodies, they
I
never
believe we've written already.
Here I was
But I want us to
standing
play
in your presence.
a game that the winner will go home with 1 million naira
Identity.
from the
Doesn't it
convener's
sound
pocket.
like- yeah, it sounds like just like heaven. Come a little closer, stay a little longer. I can't get enough of you. Come a little closer, stay a little longer. I can't get enough of you.
Okay, welcome back. Thank you. Welcome back. So, we're going to play a game, right? And we're going to have thank God, we could have 3 tables. There'll be 4 tables self. So we're going to have 4 companies. All of us are business owners, money people, and all of those things. And we're going to have, you people, thank God, the way we're seated, right? We're going to have a semi-pitch competition. And this is how we're going to do it. The way you're seated in your corners, there's going to be 2 representatives from one table. Better listen, 1 million naira is at stake. And anybody that don't win it will pay me 1 million. So pay attention, right? Each table is going to be a company, and you guys are going to have 2 representatives from your companies. Do you understand? So you can do it that all of you can come together and choose an imaginary product, or you can do it that 2 people in your company would volunteer businesses, and you guys are going to come out in 90 seconds and represent your company, i.e. pitch. If you were given 1 million naira today to pump into your business, what would you use it to do? Why are you waving your hand? Who want to give you 1 million?
So actually there will be money to be won. So the person or the table, okay, the company that wins this pitch goes on with, I don't know, would they share it? So is it individually? Okay, you are doing this for yourself, but just to encourage you. So the company that wins, how many people in it? Okay. However you guys want to share it, but the company that wins goes on with 50,000 naira.
Transport money. I'm the company if they are not ready. But here's how we're going. Now we're doing it for 2 reasons, right? Most times as business owners, we have our stories in our heads of how we talk about our businesses. What do? You start your introduction as I'm a small business owner. What if the next person is supposed to be your client, right? How are you talking about your business? So the goal is to help you polish how you're talking about your business. So quickly, this is how we're going to do it, right? This is company 1, company 2, company 3, company 4. You have 2 options. You can either decide to volunteer an already existing business, or put your head together and decide that you people are creating a new company and what people are selling is bottled water. That's your business, however you decide to do it. But then I need 2 representatives as quick as in like 1 minute from now, right? 2 representatives. The 2 people, if you people choose me and my twin, they will come out and they will say the name of our business is this is what we do, and if we are giving 1 million naira, this is how we will use it. Do you understand? It's like this company KG, your company is about to, you have a company. You should join your head together. Dima, come and join this company. All of you like this. Yes, you have a company. It's anointing that people have to offer. So we have about 2 minutes to. Okay. I believe by now we've bonded and we've. I need representatives, please. DJ, please. We want another song that can help that can give them morale. Okay. What's the name of your company? Who are your reps? Wow. These people have brought knife to fuck fights. Oh yeah, come out. Come out, quickly. Quickly. You want to collect judge by force. Company of judge. Manner and a defined place, right? That's the name. Okay, come out. Morale high. Dima, this your manner is getting cold. Okay. Please start for them. It's not easy to be a business owner in Nigeria. So, this is the rule of the game. Listen and listen properly. Where is the second microphone, please? Okay, so this is how we're going to do it, right? You have 90 seconds, like literally the time is ticking. And you have to convince us in 90 seconds what your business is about and why we should patronize you, right? And why, you need $1 million. Name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Father, Son. Quiet. This Lions Den. How many of you guys watch Lions Den? People should go and watch it. It's like a business pitch thingy. However you decide to do it, please let's adjust for them. Let them present first of all. So we welcome company number 1, Cakes and Cream. What's the name now? The new name?
IG Foods.
IG Foods.
Yes.
Okay, introduce yourself at this point.
Hello everyone. My name is Arinpe from IG Foods, and this is Ijoma.
Wait, just give us 1 second. We want to reduce the song. Are you good? Everything, like, you must be serious. Are you ready? No, okay. 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Arinpe, and this is Ijoma from IG Foods. And today we're here to tell you why you should invest in our business. Now I know you are thinking 1 million is a lot of money to invest into a food business, but let me tell you how we're going to use the money if you were to give it to us. First things first, we're going to buy equipment that would reduce the amount of time we'd spend in producing the food for our clients and for our guests. I believe that starts first. That's the first phase of any catering business, whether it be baking or just making food. If you have the equipment to reduce the processing time of the making of the production of the food. It reduces stress for the person making it, and it also helps things come out to life faster. So when we do that, if for instance now we're obviously going to be doing baking products, baking goods, and let's say we want to bake a birthday cake now. I know you've heard of fastest cakes. Now fastest cakes, we are going to implement what fastest cakes does. Basically is by having an equipment that actually produces the product fast for them. So for instance, when it comes to baking, you have the hand mixer, you have the big mixer, you have the oven, you have the standing mixer. Now, why I call these three different types of mixer? If I was to use the hand mixer, I would waste time, because I would have to still be there holding it to mix. If I was to use my hand to mix, I would waste time, because, well, that one, I'm putting myself inside trouble. And if I'm to use a standing mixer, I can be mixing my batter somewhere and then be mixing my icing somewhere. And so that makes the
Thank
cake
you
faster.
so much. Please clap for her. You are not clapping. I'll take the money back. Oh. We'll judge after all the business are finished so that you not change your mind. Next company, please. But clap for them. They did so well. It's not easy to conceptualize a business in 2 minutes and then come and talk about it. Clap for them again, please. Perfect.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, I know you can see us with our beautiful bags, but I just want to quickly tell you a short story. So I went wedding shopping with my mom, and she gave me the most beautiful leather bag. And she was just like, I just want you to use this bag to resume work after the whole wedding ceremony. And immediately I showed everyone that cared to see, oh my God, see my beautiful bag that my mom gave me. And I'm taking it to the office after everything. So now let's get right into it.
Love it.
Hello, my name is Mercy, and this is my co-founder here. We are the co-founders of Define Place. Define Place is a leather brand that sells quality, affordable leather products, purely and proudly made in Nigerian leather products. So if by adventure, which I'm very sure you're going to give us the grant, is it grant or a...
Better picture, 2 seconds left.
Okay. If this grant is given to us, 40% will be going into our manufacturing products, our production basically, because they are made in Nigeria. So regardless of it being made in Nigeria, they are made with quality leather. Okay, so 40% will be going into our machineries and our production process. 20% will be going into marketing, getting our products to the right audience. Like she said, like she taught us today, influencer marketing, getting traction for our brand. 20% will also be going into investing in distribution, logistics, and all that. And then 10% will be going into paying salaries for our staff. Thank you very much.
Right on time. Okay, it's getting tougher. Please clap for them very well.
Hi, everybody. Exodus 16:33. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot and put an omer full of manna therein and lay it up before the Lord, and it will last your generations. I am standing with my partner here as representatives of Manna's Kitchen, a food business that is centered on feeding and sustaining you with not just food, but manna. I'll have given you a brief introduction of what manna meant in scripture and the connotation, but there's no time for that because 1 million naira is at stake. But we at Manna's Kitchen are a business founded on the core values, as we were taught today, of excellence, godliness, and generosity. If you give us 1 million naira to put in our business, here's what we'll do with it.
Okay. So, like she said, we have this food business. One thing that we want to do 2 things: eliminate hunger, and then the second thing is also feed people with the word. Now, of course, we also need to put structure to that. And so when you give us 1 million naira, we're going to invest in structure. We're going to use that to pay staff, so operations, equipment, there's all of that. And then also we would have intermittent projects, which we would give out sample foods like this. And we're hinging our brand on zero hunger. You should invest in manna because there's a clear trajectory for growth. Food will always be in demand and it can go across borders.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please clap for them. Clap for them. Clap for them. Very well, very well. It's not easy. It's not easy. Judges, what do you put in? Judges.
I think that everybody was fantastic. I think that for them, I like their confidence, and with them, I like their storytelling, even though they tried to bribe us with scriptures. But I think everyone was fantastic so far.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Ma, what do you think, Ma?
Okay, they were trying to bribe us, so you were trying to. Why you? So if I'm investing my 1 million in you, you want to give out free food? How will you get a return? Anyways, you guys did good. Everyone did amazing. I'm literally so proud that that was like in just 2 minutes you were able to think of that. The bags. I love the storytelling. How you had to connect us to production and the quality of the bags. Amazing. Your brand, sorry. IJ Foods. Thank you.
I like you too much.
Hygiene. Okay, IJ Foods. You guys did amazing. I love how she started the pitch. She had me on for a long time until she mentioned a different brand. When you're pitching or when you're talking about your brand, you do not want to give that publicity to somebody else, because if I want to invest 1 million naira and you're already telling me that a brand
There might be small opportunities for you to talk about what you do, right? And it's more than just, oh, I have a good business. It's also about how you talk about it, right? When we go into like the planning and the journaling session later, we'll touch on these things, but I want you to have it at the back of your mind. A successful business also rides on storytelling, like they said, right? How you're able to capture people, how you're able to give us reasons to buy, right? And just being able to make sure that you're not promoting, in quote, your competitors, like Mata had said. That being said, we're moving on to the next speaker, right? And our next speaker is guess who? Who wanna guess? Okay, I keep my answer to myself. Our next speaker is the one, the only, Matter of Matt's Closets, my friend, your Covina, right? And if I start to read her bio, I feel like I might even add some things that I know personally, but you're about to listen to someone who, more than just having years of, business knowledge, right, has practical insight. She's my friend, so I'm going to introduce her like a friend and a Covina, right? For every time we get to talk about business, you just always be like, there's something in your head, or you're so wise, and I'm hoping that we're going to be very attentive today. We're going to listen, we're going to, take notes down, and I trust that we'll be ready to listen. Please, let's stand up and welcome Matter Delights of Matt's Closet Fashion and all the many empires,
Wow. Okay. Like I said earlier, thank you for being here. I'm sure that you've been learning a lot so far, right? Okay. Are you getting blessed? Are you learning something? Okay, good. My name is Martha. Like I said earlier, I run a fashion business, or I own a fashion business or fashion businesses, Matters Closet and hot fashion. So let me give you a backstory. Sorry, I like to really communicate and talk to everyone. We're gisting, nothing serious, right? So I started my business in year one. Yes, I started my business in year one. I just got into OAU, and I think I've shared this on my story before. It was my matriculation, and my mom sent me a lace dress for my matric, and I can be very, that kind of thing. Like I can be very, no, please don't spoil my rep, that kind of thing. So it was time for my matric, and my mom sent me a lace dress. I'm like, why would I wear a lace dress? I had a rep to sustain. Okay, I was Miss Fresher of I studied geography in school. I was Miss Fresher, so I just felt like lace would not fit my aesthetics. So I started looking for outfits, very cheap. At the time, 10,000 was a lot of money. I mean, I had just 10,000 naira in my account. It wasn't really a lot of money, but I mean, I was in school, and that was my pocket money for the month. In fact, for 3 months. Backstory to that. But I started looking for an outfit to get for my matric, and I literally scouted the whole of OAU. I don't know anyone from Obafemi Awolowo University here. Okay, I wanted to do Great Fair. Okay, yeah. So I literally scouted the whole of OAU, and it was like the school was just for rich kids. Everybody, like every store I went into, because I wanted to get a dress and a shoe or something nice for my feet for 10,000 naira. And 10,000 naira was not that. I mean, then we could get dresses for 4K. So I would just enter a store and they would tell me the dress is 10,000 naira. And I'm like, your store is in the middle of students that do not really have a lot of money. So what do you mean I have to pay 10,000 naira for this dress? So I started to go online, and at the time there were not really a lot of fashion brands. It was very there were few fashion brands on Instagram at the time, and the one I sent a message to said I had to pay 4,000 naira for delivery. And at the time, delivery was a thing that was very scarce. So she said she had to go to the park herself. She had to give it to the boss. It was just a whole lot of drama. And that was when I had spoken to my friend at the time. And I told her, I think I want to start selling clothes. Because it feels like even the ones that I see, it's either they're too expensive or not my style. So that was how I started Matters Closet. And I started it with my friend. I don't think I've ever said this before. So I started my brand with my friend, and we went to Lagos Island, scouted the whole place, got whatever that happened, and yeah. So the reason why I'm telling you this story is when I had communicated my passion, it wasn't really a passion, it was more of a need, because I had a need for it, and also I knew that I was broke as a student and I needed to make money. So I just mentioned two things. When you're starting a brand, it is so much more than the passion. It is also important to think about, okay, what am I getting from this business? That's number one. Number two, what kind of value do I want to provide, right? At the time, my problem, the issues I had created my, the idea that came to my head, because I wanted to sort out dresses for students that were affordable. So, so those two things, I want you to hold on to that, because we're going to get back to it later. First of all, the solution to a problem, providing outfits for. Guess what? When I finally got my matriculation, I wore the lace at the end of the day. Yes, because I could not afford 20,000 naira dress. I wore the lace, and it was, I think, a day after my matric, I sat down with my friend. I literally, this is what I want us to do. This is what I want us to do. And I just started to fall in love with, for weeks and months. I can be very tenacious. Like, whatever it is that I'm doing, I literally just put my all in it, because so many things drive me. As at the time, I wasn't saved, so it was more like, okay, I needed to do this. I was broke. I needed money. I can be very tenacious. But my friend, on the other hand, when I came to her with the business idea, she loved the idea of it, right? So a month passed, 2 months passed, and people started to identify me with the brand more than she, right? So it wasn't Matters Closet at the time. I can't remember the name because it was not even important, right? So, but it was a thing where in school, people would want to order and they would specifically request for me to attend to them. I'm going somewhere. So, after that, let's say they request for me, and it just started to cause some friction. And I woke up one morning, the page was deleted. So I reached out to my friend. I was like, what's going on? You deleted it? She's like, yes, that I don't think we can run this business anymore. It feels like you're only, like it is your business. And that was the end of that business idea. But let me tell you something. What I'm trying to bring out from that story before I get into what I came here to do today is the two people wanted to start a business. One from knowing the why. The second person from, because this person knows the why, let me join. So the other person that joined because of not, this person knows the why, let me join, did not give in as much effort, hard work. I can remember so many times. I remember the first delivery we had was at Oshodi. I took bus from, I used to stay at Ayobo. I don't know. Who knows Ayobo? Yeah. So I took bus from Ayobo to Oshodi. I forgot to calculate delivery fee with this thing. But I just knew that at the time I had no idea about business. But I just knew that I found a solution to a problem that I found in school. Do you understand? So I went all the way. But there's this person, post, you will not post. So, and when the business ended, I understood that, number one, before you start something, you have to know your why, right? Before you start anything, yes, I know what the economy is saying now, and you might feel like I need to start a business because I need to pay my bills. It is much more than that. Like Laura said, it is a vision that God has kept. It is like an assignment that God has entrusted you with. So it's not just about, it's not for your personal gain. It's more than what it is to you. It is more about what God is trying to do through that business that He has kept in your mind. So if God asks you to do something, it's way more about, it's not even about you most of the time, right? It's more about the impacts. You trying to create something that would outlive you, but we are getting there, right? So I knew my why. She probably did not. She only, I think Laura said something about when you want to go to science class and then you go to science class because somebody went to science class, you go to ask, yeah, something like that. So that was what happened, right? And I knew my why. Number two, there was passion, right? I started to sell and I just found it intriguing that I could wear something in school and someone would just walk up to me and be like, oh, I love this dress, where did you get it? And then I just say, oh, it's my brand. I don't know, it just sort of, I had empty rep before Miss Fresher, it was empty, but when people walk up to me and say, I like you this, and I'm like, oh, it's my brand. I say, oh, you're doing so well. Thank you. So yeah, I had passion. So the passion started to grow. It did not originally start as a passion, but the moment I started to do what I started to do, I started to fall in love with it. So that was what increased my tenacity, right? So I said all of that to just introduce it, to just talk about, before you start, because I heard some people talk about, oh, they want to start a brand, and someone launched today. So this is just some form of assessment, going back to your drawing board, to actually ask yourself, okay, this thing that I want to do, why am I doing it? What is the reason behind it? Was this God's instruction, right? So I want to ask, so I'm going to be looking at my iPad a lot because I spent days preparing for this and I had some pointers. But before that, I want to ask us a question and I want someone to answer. Before that, I started the gym earlier this year. Okay, don't judge me. I started the gym earlier this year. My goal is to get back to a size 8. Yeah, I'm currently a size 14, but I want to get back to a size 8. It seems impossible, Abby. I like food. Don't worry. But I started the gym this year, and what I just said was, I want to get back to a size 8. I'm going back to the gym. And I went to the gym first day, second day, third day. After a week, that ginger that comes with a new year now. Like when this year started, I was like, I am going to go back to a size 8. I'm going to the gym. I registered at iFitness. First of all, when I got to the counter, my bill was going to almost 100,000 naira. That's when my eyes cleared that, is this what people are doing here? So I had the goal to actually, lose weight, and I went to the gym. But in February, I stopped, right? I didn't go again. The money was part of it, but I don't know. because when you started, you just said, oh, I want to make 30 million naira, and then you just trusted the Holy Spirit to put that 30 million naira in your account at the end of the year. It doesn't work that way. Success requires intentionality. Every single person that is doing well for themselves, I say this all the time, there's been a form of consistency, there's been a form of success. Right? So there is nobody that is doing so well and you're looking at them, oh, this person is running this business so excellently, yada yada yada, and you think that they have not put in the hard work. There's a lot of hard work that goes into that. So it doesn't just happen by chance. Growing your brand, becoming as big, that vision that you have, it doesn't just happen by chance. It requires intentionality. It requires consistency. And how do you do that? When you start this year, you want to not say, oh, I want to go back to a size 8. Don't worry, I'm back at the gym and I'm gonna do well. Don't worry. I stopped, but I'll be back. So it's not just about saying, oh, I want to go back to a size 8 and then no plans, no. How do you want to achieve that? Nothing like that. Just, I want to go back to a size 8 and then you start and then there is no motivation and then you just go back to normal, right? So success requires intentionality. It requires commitment to growth and excellence, right? So there's this story in the scripture that I always think about, or that I always, in fact, I still I had to meditate on this particular story in the scripture day before yesterday when I was preparing my slides, and it was the story of Paul. It's the story of Paul. Remember when Paul was coming back from Damascus and Jesus Christ had appeared and told him, why are you persecuting me, and all of that. And in Acts, we can remember that Paul had to go to, I think Ananias had to come to him to, make him unblind because he was blind, because he had, seen Jesus and all of that. And then in Galatians, Paul spoke about how when Jesus had appeared to him, he had to go back. In fact, he did not immediately go to Arabia. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, so he went back to Arabia to actually prepare before, I think it was about after a few, I think it was years, I can't remember. So it took a period of time before he now started full-time ministry. He had to go back first to prepare himself, because Jesus Christ had told him, okay, you are going to preach the gospel to the Gentiles. He just did not say, okay, I'm ready. Now that someone has approved me, I've gotten a word from Jesus, I can as well just go and start preaching. Yes, he did preach in Acts. Oh yeah, he started sharing the gospel. But full-time ministry started after he had spent time with the Lord. After he had spent time, studying, spending time with God, building up himself and all of that. So what I'm trying to say is, the fact that you heard God told you to start something does not mean that it is going to cancel out preparation, or it's going to cancel out the place of building up yourself, getting to know this thing better. Let me give you an example. When I started Matters Closet, I started going to every single person that owned a fashion brand at the time. I would go to their page. What are they doing differently? How are they posting? How am I posting? Do you understand? Not in a way to compare or to form any form of competition, but I just knew that I wanted to be better. I did not just want to, oh, God had told me to do something. At the time, I was not safe, so it wasn't necessarily, but I'm going to get there. But I did not just want to run on vibes. I wanted to get to know. In fact, I remember that I had gone on, I'd gone on YouTube at the time, and then I started watching House of CB, the founder of House of CB. I started watching how she just spoke about how she would, she started from the scratch in a room, and she started to sell and all of these things, and then I would just watch it and I would just take down notes and I would just implement that in my business. In my DM, let's say a customer, at this time I could count the number of fashion businesses we had on Instagram. So at the time I was like one of the people that would, when you send a message, you get like a follow-up message, oh, welcome to so and so. I learned that from House of CB, right? So imagine I have this passion. I know my why. I want to start my business. but I have no not even experience. I am not trying to be better. I'm just trying to sort out money. Like, I'm not even trying to build up myself, which I am still doing till now, till date. Every single day that I wake up, I always think about what is something that I want to do differently in my business today. Like, I don't want to. My girls are always, this woman has come again. Like, this, I think it was like last week, I was still telling them, anytime a customer comes to my shop, I don't know why, but I don't want you guys dressing this way anymore. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to. It might not necessarily add to the output of the business. It might not bring me money, but there's something Elena said about customer persona, right? Things like that, you might just want to build up yourself, try to improve yourself. Oh, because you have this great idea to start a brand does not mean that that idea is enough to sustain the brand. You need to keep on learning, keep on growing. Just like Paul, especially going back to the secret place, the one that has told you to start, meet him, ask him, right? So, we're going to move to the next one. Oh, I don't think I said so I'm speaking on, sorry, give me a minute. Practical steps to build a strong foundation for 2025. I really wish this thing was taller. So, practical steps to build a strong foundation for 2025. So, there are 3 practical steps that I wrote down. The first one is set clear goals. The second one is stay rooted in faith. That is building with God. I think Laura already covered that. Stay rooted in faith, building with God. And the third one is stay consistent and purposeful action. Take consistent and purposeful action. So let me backtrack a little bit. It is not enough that you have received a word for the new year. It is not enough that, the Lord has told me that in this year I would occupy. Let me share a short story. So I attend Celebration Church. I'm sure you know that. And for 2024, our word for the year was to occupy, right? And I can remember after church that day, I went home. I think it was when I went for my retreat. I started to specifically ask God that if my church is saying we are to occupy, how do I occupy as a brand? Right? I want to function from the same grace that you have put upon my house. That's my church. How do I carry that to my brand? And I can remember, God telling me specific instructions. I took courses. I take courses a lot, right? I don't finish all, but I shall take courses a lot. Anyways, so I had to take courses. I had to do something. I had to take a lot of risk. I could have let's say the business has just for instance, just 5,000 naira in my account, and then I just wake up in the morning, say my prayers, tell God, and I have like words that I read to myself every morning. This year I am occupying. This year is my year to occupy. And then the next thing I hear in my spirit is, okay, you're going to order goods worth so million naira, and I'm just like, I don't have that. I don't have 4 million naira. Like, I'm just giving you like examples. And then and then I start to look for the money. I start, okay, how do we do this? Should we take from the business funds? Should we? And I order this amount of goods, and then the result of ordering that amount of goods blows my mind. I am getting customers from places that I have never imagine. This particular thing I just spoke about happened, and then someone reached out to me, a celebrity I would not want to mention, and she said she's relocating to the UK and she wants me to change her wardrobe. And I'm like, okay. That was my reaction, like, what's going on? Like, wow. And I remember that when God had told me to set aside that amount of money to do this, I was complaining. Like, where will I see this kind of money? I've not gotten here yet. Like, let's take it slow. And God said, we are occupying this year. And I have examples. My church is I follow the footprint of my church a lot, and that is like one of the major way that God speaks to me about my business. My church can wake up one morning and say, oh, we are getting a new venue in Asaba, and then there is no funds, and I just see my pastor giving instructions, and I'm just like, okay, I can do this too. If God is able to come through in this way, I think it can also come through for me in my business. And then God tells me, oh, take 10 million naira, order this amount of goods. And then 2 days later, someone is sending me a message, oh, I want you to supply my clothes. I'm relocating to the UK. Things like that. What I'm trying to say is, it is not enough to get a word. It is not enough to get a prophecy. You have to pray it to reality and walk it to reality. So imagine I got the word that, oh, it was my year to occupy, and I'm just praying every day, Lord, I want to occupy. This year I'm occupying. This year I'm occupying. And I'm not doing anything about it. God tells me to maybe open a new store. And I'm just like, well, I don't have the money. Don't worry, I'll occupy next year. So you must be, if you get a word, it is not enough that you have gotten that word. You must be ready to actually act on that word and live that word like it is already your reality. And that is how God begins to walk that word in your life. Are we together? Okay, sorry, are you learning something? Okay, thank you very much. Like I said, I'll be reading a lot from my note because okay. So, number 2, I said, number 1, sorry, let me say something. It's not enough to receive a word. First of all, what you need to, let me give you an instance. When I was in I think 2022 was a very dicey year for my business. We had a lot of complaints. A lot. My friends can testify. I would literally, I think, yeah, Laura, like I would be shouting, what is it? Customer has not received our order. This is delivery problem, staff problem. It was a lot. And then this was 2023. And then when I came into 2024, the first thing that I wrote down was, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't be lying to yourself, right? And it is your brand. You can't be saying, oh, I'm here when you are here. I had to go back to my drawing board. I had a very bad, terrible service in 2023. I had so many complaints. Yeah, see, business was so good. In fact, that year, business was so good. But I wasn't just about the money. I wasn't just about business was good. I also wanted that when people hear my brand, they have something good to say, right? So I went back to my drawing board and I said, I don't like what happened this year. What happened? How can I be better at what happened? Okay, I started with, I need to change my delivery company, right? Sorted that out. I need to start employing more educated people. Do you understand? I had to be honest with myself, reflect on my past year, and write out how I will be better, right? So number 2, access your resources and your skills. Ask yourself, what do I need to learn? What do I need to improve? And how do I step into my vision for 2025? So one of the ways that you can do this is, one of the ways that I did this was in 2024, I hired someone to train my staff. Right? That was what I did. We did this in February, where I hired, I think it was, if you want to know who the person is, please just reach out to me. But I actually hired someone to come to my store, I think for like 2-3 days, and speak to my staff, right? So I knew that I had a customer service issue, and they needed to be trained. So these are things. Oh, what you can say. Oh, my delivery timeline or my delivery time frame this year was not great. I think I want to. Let's say your delivery takes 2 to 4 working days. I want to make it 24 hours. How can I do this? Who do I need to partner with? How do I need to? Okay, there was something that I did this year where delivery within Lagos was quite expensive because of the fuel issue. I had to call my delivery company. I told them, see, I want a flat rate for Lagos. If I'm not getting a flat rate for Lagos, I'm not working with you guys anymore. And it seemed impossible. Imagine in this economy, telling your delivery company that you want a flat rate of 2,000 naira for Lagos. And he said, okay, no problem. I mean, he knew the value that I was bringing. So you want to go back to your drawing board and actually check these things. How you can't just say, oh, I'm going into 2025, I want to do this, I want to do this better, I want to actually check. Because if you cannot track your goals, they are just wishes. Do you understand? If you cannot actually track your goals, okay, these are the ways that I got better, then I think that you are just writing a wish list. Right, so you need to be able to go back and track your goals. And okay, so I said practical step for building strong foundation. One, sets clear goals. So we're going to be talking about setting clear goals. So you want to write down your goals. I always do that at the beginning of every year. I go on a retreat and I write down my goals. And I don't limit myself with my goals. I don't say, oh, because I made 10 million naira this year, I'll be too scared to write 100 million naira next year. As much as I want to be realistic, I will still dream big. Do you understand? So I want to say, oh, I made 10 million naira last year. This year, I think if I can make 10 million naira, I think this year I can do 40 million naira. So you want to, you can't just say, oh, we have resumed again. Oh, please come and patronize us. You have no goals. So you can't even tell when your business is doing well or when there's an improvement or when there's growth. So I want to tell you the different places that you can set your goals. This is something that I personally do. So just write this down. I set business milestones. I set financial targets. I set personal development goals. And I also try to track my progress. So I do this every 2 months. I'm not usually not always consistent, but I just always try to. First of all, I set business milestones. I set financial targets. I set personal development goals. And I try to track my progress. There's something that I think it was this same house of CBA I heard it from. She said, if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. So if you cannot say, oh, I did 10 million naira last year, how would you know if you got better in the next year? So if you make 20 million naira next year, how would you know that there was an improvement? So if you cannot measure it, you cannot track it, right? So ensure that your goals align with God's vision for your life. So as much as you're setting your goals, ensure that they align with the instruction that you got in your secret place. So like I said earlier, my watchword for this year majorly was to occupy. So every single goals that I set aligned with that. I said, okay, if I'm occupying, how can I do that? I want to get it. So we have a thing where we only tell customers to walk in to pick up their orders. But I said, you know what? If I'm occupying, I want people to be able to walk in, try out their outfits, and live with it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get a new store, right? And then I did that. Something else that I also did was, I'm trying to remember, to occupy was, okay, I was spending a lot on Uber. Right. See, when I say setting personal, this was under my personal development goals. Right. Last year, I saw how much I had spent on Uber, and I was taking from the business money, and it was a lot. It could literally afford I think something small, maybe a small car or something. So I'm like, rather than actually, see, it's not in all cases. In my case, it was very, very valid. Right. I said, rather than actually spending this amount of money again in 2024, why not do this? I am trying to occupy. Occupying falls in line, like getting a car for my brand to serve that purpose. When I want to get to the store, I don't always have to wait for Uber and whatnot. Just drive down. When I want to pick up my goods, they charge me so much. When I want to pick up my goods for my cargo company, they charge me so much. So I'm like, okay, why not just get a car that can serve this purpose? I was picking goals, or I was trying to set visions and goals that aligned with that word that I have gotten. So like I said, it is not enough to get a word. Run with that word. So that was what guided my goals for the year 2024. I want to occupy. I'm getting a new store. I want to occupy. I started importing ×3 of what I would normally do. At the beginning of the year, I did not have that kind of money. But I just knew that God that has said that I will be able to occupy in the year 2024, He gave me that word. Then I know that it will come true. So, and remember, if you cannot measure it, you cannot track it. So I am looking back at the year 2024 and seeing every single thing that I have done, and I'm just like, wow. If I don't think that I would have tried to do all of these things if I did not go back, like actually sit down with God. Okay, if you want me to occupy, these are the things that I want to do. Please, let's do it together. Do you understand? Okay, so Sorry, I would round off shortly, but there's still a lot to share. Okay. So, on setting goals, you need to set clearer goals. I think I spoke on that earlier. You need to set clearer goals. It is not enough to say, oh, I want to buy a car. Yes, let me use a car. I want to buy a car in 2024. At the beginning of this year, I could not afford a car, right? But I said, if I want to buy a car, what are the things that I can do? If I want to get a new store, what are the things that I can do? Okay, let me use the new store for as an example. I want to get a new store at the market for my walk-in customers. What can I do? I said, first of all, let me ask for the price of the size of the store that I wanted. So I just wanted to run with a particular amount in my head. I asked for the price. Those are my goals. I'm breaking them down already. The second thing that I did was check. I had to go back to our board, our business board, check how many requests we get for walk-ins. Do you understand? So if there is no demand for it, I would not do it. But I knew that there was a demand for it, so I decided to do so. I had to write that down. Another thing I did was start saving. So let's say in January, I made 1 million naira. I put aside 30K, or I put aside 100K, new store budgets. So I can't just say I want to get a new store and I'm expecting manna to fall from heaven. I actually actively plan towards it. So I got we opened the store in December. I saved the whole year. Let's say I make 100,000 naira today. Don't worry, I do not make 100,000 naira, and I don't plan to make 100,000 naira, and I will never make 100,000 naira again, ever. Dark times. Okay, so let's say I made 200 million naira today, and I say I'm going to put aside 1 million naira in January. In February, I'll put aside 500,000. So like that. So when it is time to actually actualize that goal, you are not running up and down. Oh, where will I get this money? You have made preparation for it. And that is how to occupy. When you see people do big things, they start with small things. You actually don't just wake up one day and say, I see business owners, like when they send me a DM, they're like, oh, you're doing so well. My business is not picking up. I've not made any sales today. And then I go to their page, because I actually do check. And there's no effort. There is no, I can't even see that you run a business. So you want to actually start taking this thing seriously. Tiny little steps, they begin to amount to bigger goals. And then you just look back, you're like, so it is this 50K that I was saving every day that brought me here. It starts from, like, to occupy starts from that. It's not just, oh, I have been told to occupy. God is going to send me 1 million naira through an helper. The helper will give me that 1 million naira and I'll open my store. Sometimes it happens that way. But prepare. If God gives you a word, He wants you to prepare. He wants you to run with it. He wants you to war with it. Do we understand? Please, are we learning something? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, oh my God. Sorry. Okay, so I said break down your goals. So I wrote something down. A clear goal always comes with a roadmap. A clear goal always comes with a roadmap. So I gave an example. I used my brand here. So let's say your goal is to make 50,000 naira by December. Ask yourself, what are the specific ways that I can make this amount of money? I think I already spoke about that. So you can decide that, okay, I want to start running ads. So one of the things that I did last year was it worked for me. It might not work for, I don't know who owns a fashion brand here, but I tripled my ads amounts. Let's say I would normally run 5,000 naira. I started to run 15,000 naira. Why am I using small numbers? Okay, because I don't run 15,000 naira ads. Ads is expensive. Yeah. So let's say I used to run 500,000 naira ads. I started running, I increased it to 700,000 naira. Please, how many of us run ads here? Okay, please, if this is going to be your takeaway, don't run 20,000 naira ads. It will not convert. Seriously. When I get messages from people who I invested 10,000, what are you saying? You want to make 1 million naira and you are putting 10,000 naira in your hand account. It will not work. And Instagram is very smart. I have studied their algorithm so well. So, and let me tell you, do you know that I have not run ads in 6 months? And I have made double, in fact, triple of what I would normally make in those 6 months. Why? Because I have invested so much money in running ads. In fact, all through 2023, our ads budget for the year 2023 in Matters Closet was about 18.3 million naira. Do something like create a corner in your space, make it more aesthetically pleasing. Your daddy's parlor is fine, yeah, you can use his background, but why not make something much more worthwhile? Do big things, dare yourself. When you want to run ads, don't say, oh, this is my last 50k. You can do 50k. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but when I started running ads, I think I started with about 150,000 naira, because before I started running ads, I and my partner literally sat with it. In fact, he taught me, don't worry, it's not me and my partner, he taught me actually. We sat with it, studied the algorithm. Why am I paying this so amount of money on ads? What is the return? So I studied it. I had to study my target audience. I see people run ads and then you just run ad, you just put Russia, put like so many countries that you are selling donuts. You are putting Russia, you are putting Tanzania, you are putting, no. See, I feel like every decision you want to make as a business owner, please read. Please read. I read a lot. I don't like reading. And if I'm not reading, I'm listening. I don't like reading actually. But rather than I read a lot, I listen a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. These are just tips. These are things that I do that work for me. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos of brands that are doing so well. What are the things that they are doing that is making them stand out? I don't have to do the exact same thing that they are doing, but I can learn one or two things. Do you understand? So sorry, let me just run because I'm still on my first point too. Sorry, I'm just going to run. Right. So I wrote something that when you are not specific about your goal is just a wish. I think I said that earlier. If you're not specific, it's like putting out a wish list, expecting Anonymous to favor you. Do you understand? Expecting Anonymous to favor you. But if you put out your wish list and then you just forward it to your friends, you know that you're expecting something from your friends, right? Bewaji, I'm going to send you my wish list. Okay. So I think I already covered this. The things that I did when I started my business, these are the goals that I set. I started to record my sales with biro and paper. That was then. There to know how much I was making, how much I was paying my delivery company. I was working. I was the only one at the time. So I would always, I don't know why business owners don't record. Like, you need to always record. Because if you do not record, how would you know how much you made the previous month? How would you know how to double that amount of money? See, if you're not recording, you're running on vibes. Because how would you set your goals if you don't record? So always try to record every single thing. I like something Elena said. She said for every influencer that they worked with, they had a back-end progress report. So even with your delivery companies, down to my delivery company, I check if in this particular month I got a lot of complaint about them. I change them. You can't just say, oh, I'm running a business, I'm waiting for money. That's all. So number two, the second thing I did was I eat specific following. Okay, this is something I always do. Instagram has been dealing with me for a while. They always take down my account, or they used to always take down my account. I had to take them to God. That stopped. Anyways, they used to always take down my account. And when I wanted to start again, I told God, see, I don't want to do this again. Right? And glory to God, that has not happened. But how I grew in just the beginning of this year, I think it was like mid last year actually. From then to now, we're currently on 44,000 followers, right? In just 1 year and I think 4 months, right? And I told you I stopped running ads. So imagine eating that amount of following. What I always do is I always also track that. I always also So what I do, sometimes I create content, I do that. Sometimes I work with influencers. Sometimes I collaborate with influencers, right? But majority, or one of the major things that I did was, if the previous account was taken down at so following, right? What did I do then that helped me get to that amount of following? And how can I do it now and make it even better? So I set goals in every area of my business, both Instagram followers or both customers, because your followers are not your customers, but they would eventually be. Do you understand? So these are things that I always pay attention to. And the third one was I worked with influencers. I think I already mentioned that. So I wrote, they were not just numbers on papers for me, they became my checklist. So when I, let's say I hit a certain goal, like now, I have my goals for January that I wrote down. I want to get a new store. When I go back home, I just tick them. Oh, I've done this. And then there's just this joy. I don't know how many of us probably do something nice for our business, and then when we actually actualize it, there's this joy that you feel like, oh, I actually did this. So imagine if you never wrote it down. It just goes in passing, and you're not giving yourself enough credit. And when you don't see your progress, you are not really motivated. If you're not seeing that, okay, I actually did this year, you're not really motivated. You just keep running your business on vibes. Do you understand? So tracking your growth keeps you accountable. And like I said, there is no greater motivation than hitting a milestone. I always reward myself when I do something nice for my business. So let's say we hit a certain record. I'm not proud to say this, but I buy myself a wig. but I always just record myself and I always just reward myself, and rewarding myself helps me to do better. So if I know that I'm going to get a wig at the end of this month, if I make 20 million naira, I would rack my brain on how to make that money. That's what I do. So I just I try to reward myself with something. So I think you should write that down. Just reward yourself. You are not a machine. Okay. Reward yourself. You are not a machine. You are running a business. So I'm not saying you should buy Wigo, but you can say, okay, I want to buy myself a nice dress if I hit 10,000 followers. I reward myself when I hit a certain amount of following. It helps me work hard. Do you understand? But if you say like, this business is not even bringing anything, you would not even think to that direction. Are we together? Okay. So, how many of us have set our goal for 2025? Okay. You have. Can you tell me one thing that is in your goal? What do you do? Sorry, can you give that mic?
All right. So I don't know if I can do this. Earlier, when she asked me what I do, what I said was that I sell the best quality jewelry at the best prices. But that's just one of the things I do. And when I sat down, I know that the theme was Arise and Build, right? But then when I sat down, there's something else which I actually do. My profession, I'm a finance manager. And so sorry. What God has asked me to do is really big. And it's very scary.
Sorry. Can you give her a tissue? Thank you.
So, when I sat down, the Holy Spirit told me I'm going to reintroduce myself. And, right, okay. So I'm a finance manager here, and over the last, thank you very much. Over the last 3 years, it's 5 years, but the 3 years, the result, should I say the milestones has been in the last 3 years. I turned businesses around in that. The businesses that I've worked with, I help them to structure and then make revenue year on year. And that is something that I've begun to do. SMEs contribute about 48% to Nigeria's GDP. And I'm like, this can be the way out of, to boost the economy's GDP and all of that. So what I'm set to do is to give African businesses access to capital, and then give them the structure to be able to consistently build that year on year. And so one of the things that's for the other company, or should I say the other product, one of the things that I set in my 2025 is to do a master's in fintech. I already applied, actually. I've begun that. So to do a master's. And when I sat and said, so they strengthen their hands for the work, I have to prepare to be able to do that. And so that's why I'm going to do a master's, to be able to do that. And then for my business, the jewelry business, I started in 2020. And there hasn't been a lot to show for it. So I put that next year, I want to generate about 1.5 million in revenue. The business has never done that before. So that's another thing that I set out. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you all had our goals, right? And when you set goals like that, when you wrote down your goals, did you write down actionable steps that can help you achieve that? Okay, can you send that to my DM? All right, thank you very much. So we have to run. So I want to talk about staying rooted in faith. Laura already covered majority of that. So I'm just going to read what I wrote down when I was preparing this slide. I said, staying aligned with your calling isn't just about faith. It's about surrendering control and trusting God's process. So I know that you have faith that your business is going to grow. But in the process of your journey, or in the process of your faith, how are you allowing God in your business? When you make decisions, do you go back to the one that has sent you and say, okay, I'm about to employ this staff. Should I go ahead? Or I'm about to invest in this kind of business. Do you want me to do this? Or I'm about to increase my profits. There was a time where I felt like the profit I was making was not enough anymore. And I wanted to increase the amount that we had. And God said no. And he said no. He told me not to. And after God had said no, it wasn't up to 2 months. That was when this after God had said no, it wasn't up to 2 months. Please, can we not stream this part? But Tinubu became president. And it would have been a disaster. So every single step that you want to take as a business owner, it is not your business. It is God's. It is not your business. You're only a vessel. Do you understand? So when you want to make decisions, please go back to God. And I also wrote that when you make God the foundation of your business, it is not just about, I think I mentioned this earlier, you will not just flourish in profit, but in peace, in clarity, and in purpose. I can actively say that as much as I got saved in 2019, and I only started to run my business with God in 2022. Before that, it was a lot of chaos. Yeah, it was a lot of chaos. I was always crying. So when we say put God at the center of your business, it's not just for the money. It comes with peace. It comes with clarity. Imagine when God had told me that, okay, when God told me not to food was not that it. And I started to sell clothes, and I did not have help. So I had to communicate closely with customers, and I have really low tolerance. Like, why are you talking to me like this? Because you want to buy clothes, please carry your money and go. But because of that process that God had taken me through, you can't shame me again. I've sold food in front of Mozambique. You cannot shame me. If you know what it means to, you can't shame me. To turn spaghetti, I have videos. It was a lot. But I did that, and when it was time for me to get back to my fashion business, I was comfortable at like being on my page, doing things that would actually help my brand grow, right? And number two, God taught me hard work. It was very difficult waking up every single day to go and sell food. I would go by 6 p.m. and leave by 12 a.m. at night, because that's when like people come outside to eat. And God helped me to build consistency too. So imagine having to wake up every single day. That was hard work, turning spaghetti. I had just maybe one girl that was helping me, doing all those things. And then when I now resumed my clothing brand, even days when it gets difficult, I cannot stop. Because I know that I have done this in the past. Even this job that was more tedious, I had showed up every single day, right? So what I'm just trying to say is that please listen to God, walk with God at every step of the way. And the last one is, let's say the last time I post was last 2 weeks. Do you understand? So let me just quickly read out this for you. Yeah. Success in business is not just about having great ideas. It's about having system, habits, and consistency to bring those ideas to life. So it is one thing to have brilliant ideas. It's another thing to be consistent. And consistency happens with discipline. You have to be disciplined. It will not always be easy. Remember I said when I sold spaghetti, I had to I hated it. I'm not going to lie. I hated it not because of, not the and then you consistently post, you consistently show up, you consistently create content, or work with influencers, it helps your customers trust you. Number 2, foundation for consistency. So when you build system and habits, so system and habits like, oh, I'm going to wake up and post every day, it helps you be consistent. Do you understand? So thank you so much. Whether you run a business, it applies to you. You can choose to make it, you can choose to start 2025 in a very different way. You need to go back, write, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to do. And I pray that in the name of Jesus, that God would bless the works of your hands in Jesus' name. My friends are terrible people.
I love you so much. Please clap for her, please. I'm actually jealous of you guys right now, because you people are getting like access to things that we would typically just about, and just talk about. And I'm so happy, that we're learning so much. But then I'm just really curious, right? I really like to know, at this point, where's the second mic? What are you going to stop doing because of what Martha has said, right? What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to stop doing because of what Martha has? Things that we want to start doing, but what's stopping us from doing those things are the things that we haven't stopped. So what would you stop doing?
My lackadaisical attitude.
What does that look like?
Like, I don't think too much to things. Like, with me, anything that goes, goes. If it doesn't, fine. But this is something.
Guys, who is speaking for? Okay. I feel like. Okay, let me give Shirley.
Okay, I think one thing I really want to stop doing is actually like shying away from showing up. I'm the kind of person, like, I find it very easy to talk to people. Like, if you ask me about anything, like, I can give you counsel. Like, even my friends that are just like coming up in their business, I can tell them, oh, these were the mistakes I made starting, please do not make these mistakes. When it comes to showing up, like, I think when I feel tired, especially like combining a 9 to 5, I think it was, I don't know, there was just this, let me not even kill myself, because in the office when I come back, it's like I'm barely there. And then sometimes I come online, like she said, showing up consistency is one thing that I really need to pick up, and then, put away like the whole I'm so tired and all of that, because if we keep on operating based on feelings, at the end of the day, we don't get anything done. So yes, that's what I want to do.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. You are not clapping. Okay.
One major thing I learned is stop paying small amounts for ads.
Okay.
And also, I think this year I was just basically it was possibility that I was looking at. So now I know going into the new year is how to plan it out. Okay, I've thought about it. I've prayed about the possibility. I've seen it in other people's business. So it's like, how do I bring it to my own business? And now it's planning. It's basically just planning. Is putting the steps, besides just that goal, putting the steps in how I will achieve it. I've seen it. My eyes has been open this year. So it's planning and putting in that work for next year. I really learned.
I love it. Thank you all so much. Please clap for yourselves. It's not easy to invest in yourself. I remember like when we were doing this speech, I was saying, oh, if I invest 1 million in you, what will you do? Now, what has been invested in you is more than millions of naira, right? So I want you to also take that mindset. Now that you have received millions of naira, what exactly are you going to do? How would you act differently? And for so many of us, we have different how to break out of it, right? And she's a content creator, entrepreneur, and content coach. She's also an influencer, and she has been building the independent Bella brand for 4 years, through which she has worked with like so many brands, Lush Hair, Power Oil, Knorr, Kellogg's, and many more to create marketing solutions through content creation. She's also building Quella Gems, that's like a jewelry brand, for almost 2 years, and she has served, a lot of customers. She's an advocate for execution, discipline, leadership, and godly values, and it has led her to train hundreds of people on how to build their brands, attract dream clients, and attain self-mastery, right? She's a graduate of RUN, where she studied mass communication and served as the first female president of the Student Body Association. And she believes that every individual has a giant in them waiting to emerge, but you need knowledge to ignite that. You know how we do it. I want us to stand up, not because of anything, but because it's not easy to welcome such, intelligent, brilliant, inspiring experts in our midst. So let's welcome Bella.
Hi, everybody. I know you guys are tired, but don't worry, that's the whole point. You are gaining strength to build, right? So I just want to say thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'm so excited to be here with fellow builders. Are you a builder? You're a builder, right? So I just want to share a little about content because, we heard about influencer marketing. We've heard about so many things today. But for me, I always say, what are you going to do when you leave here? It's great to write. It's great to say, I'll do this, I'll do that. But what will you really do, right? So I have an exercise for you. I want everybody to raise their hands up. Put a finger down or put your hand down if you wish content creation was not necessary for your business. Put your hand down if you wish that it is not necessary for your business. Put your hand down. If you wish you don't have to do it, put your hand down. So almost everybody in this room, they wish they don't need to do content creation, right? So just like one, your hand is still up. Whose hand is still up? 2. So 2 people in this whole room. Awesome. So now we know how people really feel about content creation. So I want to read this tweet to you. It's by Raj Shamani. He says, in a few years from now, everyone will be a content creator, either by choice or by force. Now, my goal today is to help you be a content creator for your business by choice. I don't want it to be that thing that, oh my God, I can't believe I have to post this. I don't want it to be that for you. I want it to see as something that is helping you achieve your business goals. Okay? So, what church do you attend? Content is a result-backed method to become your customer's preferred choice. Content creation is a results-backed method to become your customer's preferred choice. Now, like I said, we don't have a lot of time to talk about this, but sometimes, we don't do stuff because we don't know why we need to do it. But one thing that content you do, other than being your preferred your customer's preferred choice is you build trust. People buy from you when they trust you. Elena talked about how there's some people that when they say, oh, this thing is good, automatically you believe them because why? You trust them. In fact, if Martha had said, oh, I think I want to move this event for 1 week, would you have said, no, Martha is going to run away with my money? What will you say? Because you what? But if it was somebody you didn't trust, you'd be like, I can't believe they're moving it. My 20K, my this. Trust. So if you're saying nobody's buying from you, sometimes it's not because your product is bad. It's a trust issue. So how do you build trust with your content? Like I said, we already know the importance of content, and that's why we're here. You build trust with your customers by showing them you're the preferred choice. How? You tell them. You know, as people, we actually know what to do, but sometimes we like to be told what to do. Glory to God, I run a service business and a product business. Some people, until you say click the link in your bio, they will wait for you to actually say it to them. And it's not that they don't know that the link is there, but you just want to tell them that, go there and check it out there. So tell your customers. Who has a product business here? Give me an example of what you do, because I want to give examples with your businesses. Cake. Okay, now you have a cake business. So you bake cake, you do all of those things, right? Now, why should I be looking for cake and come to your page? What should make me buy? The kind of content you have. Imagine you have content about 5 things I always do to make the tastiest cakes ever. Like I said, it's not about we're writing. Go home and do it. Because I promise you, not to sound mean, but 2025 will look exactly like 2024 if you don't do anything differently. You sell jewelry. 5 jewelry the it girl should have in a collection. What to have in your new jewelry collection? Practical. The problem is that we actually overthink these things. Don't forget, you are talking to a fellow human being like you. If I was trying to convince you to buy something, what would you say to me? I always say that you are not shy when it comes to content. If you have friends that you gist with them, tell them about a guy you like, you are not shy. If you go on a good date now, when you go home, there are some people that you will call. So you know that this guy, he opened the door. Before I even did this, he was like, you have that gist inside you, gist your customers. So today, we are offloading our latest. Okay, for example, now you have a bag business. 3 things I'm doing to take my business to the next level in 2025. Number 1, I attended this seminar. If I'm coming to your business, I see that I will just take you much as like, this one will not renew my money. For you to be taking your business this seriously, you can't renew my money. By God's grace, I'm privileged to work. Like I said, I have a service business. People pay me for coaching, and I've been following them. You booked your call for this time. Somebody that paid 200K, I'm the one following you. Because they trust me that I will still come back, even though there's policy, thank God. But the point is trust. So I don't want you to see content as one, it's so big, it's so hard, I can't do it. And that's the thing. We look at all the benefit of content, but we forget the benefit that it has in us. There's a level of boldness you have when you talk to your customers. You actually grow your skills. You learn how to deal with difficult situations because you are putting out content. So I don't want you to see content in 2025 as, it's because I'm an introvert. Nobody says you should crack jokes. No, for real. See, one of the things that I love about content creation is that anybody can do it. It's just that you've already made it something, you've made it so big in your head. Another thing, like she said, consistency. Personally, this is me. If I come to your page, your last post is 6 days ago, I will not buy. This is me. I know it might be unfair, but it's me. 10 days, at least 10 days, I'm not buying from you. Because your business is not a big deal to you, so my money will not be a big deal to you before you run away with it. And it might seem like that's extra, but that's the whole point. People are actually profiling where they will buy from. I always say that when my staff is stressing me, I say, see, they're like, how many jewelry businesses here? Why do you think they should buy? First of all, people come because they know it's independent Bella's brand. But you have to also know that you want to make them feel like, we need your money. Not that you take rubbish from them, but there is a level of seriousness you should put that when the customer comes, you people are too serious here. See, I find it very crazy that I've gotten international orders from jewelry because I'm like, why can't you buy from this brand over there? But they came to buy from somebody in Nigeria, paid ridiculous money for delivery. The point is trust. There's this particular video on my page, pack our biggest order with us. It's even going abroad. Why don't you have that on your page? It's not that big a deal, but I need you to first come out of the place of, it's too hard, I can't do it. And guess what? You will not get better if you don't do it. I don't know how to angle my phone. Do it often. You will learn. Like she said, the time that she went to House of CB, go to other people that are selling what you're selling. How is their content? What are they doing? You want to take a picture of your shoes. The camera is blurry. Why? Clean your camera. That's the least you can do for your customer. The customer is buying with their eyes. They're not touching the shoe. Another thing, please, learn how to batch create. She talked about having a 9 to 5, right? So I want to believe, do you work on the weekends? No. Saturday, what can you do with 2 hours of your time? You don't have to spend the whole day. Personally, I love selling jewelry, but that's not my priority. There are other things that God has told me to put more priority on. I'm not going to spend 2 days doing content for my jewelry business. No. But when I have time, like, people have time now, I even tell them, you people should start paying the independent Bella for this content I'm doing for you people. 2 hours in the day, I'm not doing again. I'm back to other things that I have to do. So you don't have to make content creation your whole identity if you don't have the time for it. I know we've talked about influencer marketing, but the truth is that as somebody who is growing, most of the time, you might not want to go with that route first. But you know that you also want to be the influencer of your business. I love the fact that she actually came with her design. Like, that's so awesome. So before you tell me that, wear my clothes, I can already see that you value what you're selling. This is already that was in DM, and she said, I saw a video. I didn't want to push too much to say what video, but the point is that share short content, right? Content. So they're not buying. Are you making us feel like we need what you're selling? Is your content that used to communicate that you need this thing I have? You need what I have. And I promise you, if you're going to take the trouble of actually stocking the goods, planning this, planning that, you can create time for content. So like I said, batch create. You have 2 hours on Saturday. Make as many. Another thing is, share your story. I love the way she sold her bag. It just sounded so deep, like, the backstory was just so motivating. See, your story is your superpower. People that follow my personal brand, I talk about how I started doing content creation because I was bored. And yeah, there's a deeper part of the story, but people just resonate with it. Like, it's true. Me too, I didn't have anything doing during lockdown, so we are connecting. So why did you rebrand your business? What happened? I think she talked about how she went for NYC. Okay, so I want to share something. If you've been following my business for 1 year, these are 3 facts about my business that you need to know. Number 1, I put my business on hold for NYC because when I went, I didn't know I was going to be waking up by 5 a.m. and I couldn't do any content because it was just too early. What is the story? Because let me tell you something. Nobody here has the same story. It's not possible. You have your aha moment that Martha has. Martha has her own aha moment. So I don't like when people say content is one big thing. It's a big thing if you've already made it a big thing in your head, so you will never do it. Content is part of what you're doing. I came to a business seminar to plan my year. This is content. I came here and I got a word that changed the game for me. That's content. See, let me tell you something here. As human beings, we actually really, really love connection. We want to connect. We want to be like, I can relate. We love I can relate. That's so true. I used to be there. That's why we are human beings. Maslow, what do you call it? Hierarchy of needs. There's community. You need people. So like, I don't want you to see, if you leave this place and you are taking content as a big deal, you didn't listen well. Like she said, people enter at them, how do you do it consistently? Sometimes you're doing the right things, but you're not doing it enough times. Okay, you posted a reel, it had 2 views. Can you post more reels? See, personally, I'm okay if you say I have a goal to reach 10K followers. That's great. What's your goal for how many reels you post, how many contents you post? Why not focus on what you can actually control? What you post. So I want you to leave here knowing that God that brought you here brought you for a reason. And let me tell you something. We believers we have an amazing advantage. Do you know what it means that you can sit there and God will say, post it like this. Say this inside the video. See, God wants his children to be out in the open. God doesn't want you to be hiding. There's something on your inside that you need to share. Like she said, if you're doing business for only money, you've not even started. That's the least. God wants more for you. But you have to look outside yourself. How does God see me? God doesn't see me as shy. God sees me as bold. I'm made in his image. God is not shy. So if I'm made in God's image, as I cannot open camera and say, hey, so guys, I have new arrival today. Who attended Reboot Camp here as I'm rounding up? Who remembers when Pastor said, bring out your phone and make a video for, you are going to watch it in 1 year time or something like that. Now, do you know why it was easy for you to make that video? Because you felt like nobody was watching you. People were actually watching, but you felt like nobody will see the video. But that's the thing, you cannot keep hiding that nobody will see your gifts. And let me tell you something, you can actually make content and leave it on your phone for rehearsal. Then after 1 day, post it. When the thing is still hot, you don't want, my head looks too big. Tomorrow, maybe your head looks smaller. Just imagine that God has put so much on your inside and your excuse is that I'm shy. And then on the last day, God has got everything he has given you. Say, God, I was just so shy. See, what will people say doesn't pay the bills? What will people say doesn't sponsor the gospel? I always say that my biggest motivation to make money is to sponsor the gospel. So if God is raising kingdom financiers here, you say because I'm too shy. If the devil is carrying his agenda boldly with camera, everything, edited content, you have the word of God, you are building with purpose, you are shy. People are selling nonsense with more like audacity out there. How much more you? Actually building something worthwhile, something for generations, something that can last. Last Sunday of the year, I launched my business, Kiniko. Tell us the story. Don't put a song under. Tell us story. And you guys, you use voiceovers. They help. They connect with your audience. Why are you saying what you're saying? I'm hearing your voice. I'm seeing the pace of how you're talking. I know that it's easy to just put a sound under. No. Use more voiceovers. You will see the difference. Tell stories. The thing that we want some mind-blowing thing to happen. But I'm sure that there's so many stories that happened today that you can tell people about. So I need you to batch create. Like I said, create around your lifestyle. Document your seasons. Especially as a business owner, there are always seasons. Always. Always. There's always something to share. So, the type of content to post, let me give you like practical examples. Like I said, post content around what you're selling, because people actually need to know what you're selling. I have this, I have that. You need it for this. It can help you with this. Post growth content, valuable content, how to maintain your leather bag. Why your leather bag keeps spilling. What else? What other business? I don't want to use only one example. Podcast. You have a podcast. Okay, for you, you can do a lot of behind the scene content. How I come up with my podcast ideas. Setting up for my podcast. You can do what, like, do you have any content around why you're actually doing your podcast? Okay, what's the name of your podcast?
My podcast is God Like Gen Z podcast. God Like Gen Z podcast.
Nice. So, like, what inspired that? We don't know, and we follow you. We don't know. Tell us. Right? So you can also have, like I said, you can have how-to content. You can have content that build trust. Pack an order with me. How I deal with this customer, this. And who knows what hooks are? I'm running up with this. Hooks. Do you know what hooks are? Hooks. So in your content, try to use hooks. Especially visual hooks. Instead of just saying how to do this thing, do something interesting. Maybe, I don't know, put your microphone on cutlery or something, right? Brush your hair, apply lip gloss. It will most likely stop the scroll as compared to if it was just somebody sitting and talking to a camera. It's more interesting. You can run to the camera. So guys, it's more interesting, right? So storytelling hooks. This happened. Tell us a story. Polarizing hooks. I know they always say customers are always right, but are they really right? This is what happened between me and this customer. But make sure the story is saying that you prioritize the customer. Don't say, and I insulted the customer, because what does she mean? I'm not the one that sent you down, no. So they always say building with God is easy, but is it? But that's the whole point. You will tell us that it's easy. Because God is always guiding you. Right? So, any questions? Any questions? Wow, no question. If I don't see your content coming this coming week. You have a question?
Thank you so much for this session, ma. So for someone that is just starting out, what are the contents that you feel that person can put out? Because I feel that, for people that have been in business, it can be very easy, pack an order with me. But for someone that is just starting out, what do you think, what are the contents that person is supposed to be bringing out? Gift creator, ma.
So there should be a lot of content about why. Because I promise you, people actually remember your why. They might forget so many things, but like, I'm doing this because I want to stop hunger. They will remember things like that. Because I don't know, we just like deep things. We like deep things as human beings. So like a lot of story around why. Why did you start this business? How did you start this business? In fact, you can make content and say, creating a gift box if I had an order today. So what you'd have put in your order? You did not get the order, but you're telling us that if you bought from me, this is what you'd have received. Now, somebody might actually buy from you because of that. I remember one time in my jewelry business, I posted orders for the week, and I was like, I think it was like 5 orders, and I was like, 5 orders are so small. I'm looking forward to when I'll have more orders. And this was a voiceover. It was very short. That's why I went to go open the reels. So many people went to go and recreate the reels. And it was my voice. It was not even anything deep, but that's the whole point. It was just that I wish I had 20 orders, but I had 5. And that was it. So you can put things like that, like what I would create if I got an order for maybe somebody that needs period care package. What I'll put in an order for a Mother's Day gift. What I'll put in a Christmas hamper. You don't have to have any order. Another thing, you can make content around your journal. Like I said, what I do when I don't get orders in a week. I promise you, people might actually buy from me because of that. Did I answer your question?
Question how you counter the fear of you are producing in mass, so you're excessively posting content, and you see that your likes are reducing as well, because when you streamline your content and you post, let's say, once a week, you get more likes on that content compared to like when you're just giving them a masses and you're just throwing it out there, because obviously create content. So how do you counter that? What do you say to that? I don't have a certain number, but okay, let's say 20. Yeah.
Label content too. Yes, I want you to post often, but like not just anything. In your wig revamp, what are you telling us about? The ones you've revamped, right? How we can maintain our wigs. You don't do that, right? You should do that. And then in that kind of content, you will now create a gap as to why we need you. For example, now, I don't like to do anything here by myself. So you can say, you can put this. But if you want professional care, come to me. That way, me, I will come to you because I don't want to do it by myself. Do you get? So you can help us, but still give us that gap as to why we need you. Because that's why you are there, so that we can patronize your services. Does that make sense? Okay, so any other person? One more person. No other question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel like there were a lot of, oh, that's so true. Oh, for real. How many of us had things like that? Like, so good, so good. Thank you so much, Ma. I will not finish, Ma. Okay, I feel like we've learnt, but cho. I need us to be able to put evidence down on paper. So, we're going to sort of take all the things that we've taken from Pastor Laura's session, from Martha's session, from Elena's session, from Bella's session, and we're going to think about our life. Because I feel like some of the reasons why we go to events and then we learn things is because we do not meditate on those things enough for it to enter us. We just hear and then we clap. The next speaker comes. Some of us now, as well, cannot even remember some things from the first speaker session because we've just allowed things to fly, right? So, how many of us have this journal prompts? Please, where's it? Who doesn't have this? Do you guys have? Okay. Think about your life. Okay, so we're going to do something really beautiful. And just before we do that, I want to introduce myself for a minute. Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Deborah. And one of my favorite things to do in this world is talk. I'm just coming from my family house, and then my siblings have just been like, oh, you talk too much, like you talk a lot. And I remember a season in my life where I was going through stuff, but the one person that I went to go and overyam to carried my gists to somebody else, right? And my gist became like public gist. So when that stuff happened, I'm like, you know what? I don't trust anybody in this world again. I'm not talking to human beings. I will start to talk to God. And because of that, I started to journal a lot. I started to write a lot. And that was what led to the birth of my journal brand that I had for a while called I Write to God About Everything. So you're literally writing, pouring out your heart. And then I've been journaling actively for, say, 6 years. And one of the things that journaling has done is that it just always brings a re-emphasis. You're always able to think, you're always able to bring to remembrance, right? So I want us to do a quick journaling session. I want us to be able to think. I want us to be able to count. I want us to be able to, you have the permission to cry if you want to. You have the permission. Let's say you're writing something, you just remember one foolish thing that one of your customers did. Just laugh it out, right? And I want us to be able to just walk through these journaling prompts together. So here's how we're going to do it. They have, obviously there are questions and then there are places to write, but then you have the liberty to, like write at the back if you feel like the spaces here are not enough. And I want us to be able to at least answer the first 2 questions in each session. So in my 2024, what were top 3 highlights in my business this year, and what challenges did you face? For example, one of your top 3 highlights can be when you got that alert that looked like you robbed a bank, and you're like, somebody really bought something that was this amount. It can even be as simple as someone commented on your video. Let's say you've been posting, nobody has been commenting on your content, and then somehow, someone left a beautiful comment. Or it can just be anything. I don't want to give you biases, right? And then what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? So I want us to be able to just write, think. And I don't just want you to write because I'm going to walk around and then I'm the invigilator and I want to make sure you're writing. I want you to write because there's power in what you're about to do, all right? And when it feels like, oh, but I don't know what to write, if your bestie had asked you, oh, what's one challenge you faced this year? What exactly were you going to say to your bestie, right? So you can just write it on the paper and then you can go to where am I? How has my business evolved since the start of the year? Oh, when I first started, all I thought I was going to be doing was just selling the stuff that I'm selling and delivering it. But now I'm even manufacturing it by myself. But now, I'm no more drop shipping. Let's say when I first started at the beginning of the year, I was drop shipping. But in between, I started to make my own stuff, right? And then still under where am I? What skills, knowledge, or personal growth? Oh, okay. What skills, knowledge, or personal growth did you experience this year? I love when Essay was talking, right? And she just talked about the fact that, she had initially introduced herself with one thing, but then there's still so much more that she can do and be and all of this. So I want you to also take account of skills and growth that you recorded within your business, but it might not necessarily be tied to your business. I remember going for a speaking engagement, and one of the things I was teaching them was that, curiosity was one of my strengths this year. I was always asking questions. Oh, what's that thing? Why is this thing this way? And if there's any skill that I grew in, it will be curiosity. But curiosity is not necessarily me too much, but I finally found a way to manage it, and I won best XYZ of the year, or most whatever. How did you think your career evolved, right? What skills as it pertains to that? Then what's your ultimate vision for your career next year? Do you want to climb to a managerial role? Do you want to be so good that they invite you to be a member of the board? Do you want a top company to poach you? Do you get, what do you see yourself doing next year? So even if you're not a business owner, if we have other, or maybe you're a service provider, right? It might look like, oh, but everybody here is selling something. I'm actually a service provider. You can write with context to the service that you're providing. Do we have any other questions? So we have about 10 minutes. Well, I don't want you to just write with time in mind. I want you to write you're just still with someone you love, i.e. me. Please help us increase the song a bit. I want to believe that we've been able to write something really detailed, and I trust that we're people who believe, and what we've written is going to come true. And I was just hoping I could get maybe like two people who were interested in sharing what they had written. I understand that journaling sessions are usually like private, but then in case you're willing to share, to maybe encourage someone, share it as a win, shared like, I've really written this thing, but I don't even know how to go about it. Who's willing to share? Arimpe, why are you looking at me like that? I'm going to call your name. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay, while we're waiting for who's willing to share, I think let me share from where am I, Abby? Where am I? Yeah, that's the session. Who's going to be the next person to share so that I can be motivating the person in advance? Okay, Bisola wants to share, so come and share. Yes, how to catch you people. You were looking for who would be the best. I've already said I'm the best to share. Okay, so what should I say? So yes, just talk a bit about your. You can pick from any session. One question. What were the top three highlights? This is what I wrote. This is what's been reflected in my heart. Or these are the emotions I felt while I shared. Just a little bit.
Okay. So I want to talk about my 2024. Okay. Hi. Okay, so let's talk about my 2024 because I mean I know that there are big things that God has for Ashomi in the coming year, but I feel like for now I'm just wallowing in gratitude because a lot of people have told me that they never would have seen me running a business like I do so many things. I mean, by the grace of God, I do so many things that I never would have thought by my birthday this year that I'll be doing. I don't like stress. Anything that would stress me, I hate it. So me being the one that goes to the market to buy fabric, me being the one doing all the stress is really surprising. So I'm just let me go to the okay. So, what were my top three highlights in my business this year? Well, the first one, Ashomi officially launched today. Glory to Jesus. Thank you so much. Then the second one, so there was this lady in my church. I don't know her from anywhere. She's my friend's mom's friend. My friend that was abroad bought a dress. I had not even launched this time. I just used to post on my Snap story, oh, I sell boo-boo dresses, come and buy. So she just said, oh, let her support her friend. Then she bought a dress, and then I was going to give it to her mom at church. Like, okay, so Dami said I should give this to you. So I was giving her mom, and then her mom's friend was right next to her. And then this woman just said, that what did Dami buy? That she wants to buy two. That she wants to buy four. And she bought she was asking me, oh no, that she first of all said that she wants to buy like 20, that she's going back to America the next day, that she forgot to buy souvenirs, that do I have them down? And I was like, hey, I have them down, okay. Then I told her that I didn't have them like ready. I was not even sure if I could give her the next day because I don't even have the fabric at home. I have to go and buy it. And then she was really angry. Oh, that what do I mean? I should have packed it. UK size 12, UK size 15. So I was she bought 4 that day, and I don't know, it was God that made everything possible. She even almost missed her flight because of me. She didn't even still get the dress. It was a friend that had to bring it in for her. But that was something that stood out for me. Another thing, I'm so sorry. I'm a very, very emotional person. And something I'm learning with owning a business is that I will never let my emotions get in the way of whatever I'm doing with my business. And I'm very, very big on friendship. So something that really annoyed me was a lot of people that I was expecting some form of support from weren't giving that to me. So I had to come to the consciousness that I will not be driven by the support that people give me. And then God, I don't know how God did this. God sent people that were carrying and are still carrying my business like it's theirs, like literally planning all the content out for me, like executing it with me. I called my friends like 2 days that, please, I want to come to your house to create content. I've already told everybody that I'm launching. I don't have anything to post. And I just came, and then they just helped me. So that was something that really stood out for me. And then the last one is that I had lots of opportunities to learn. Like, I mean, I think I said at the beginning of the of this whole thing that I'm going into a business with little to no knowledge. Please. So, yes, I was.
If I do that, I feel like I'll be biased. But don't worry, we'll obviously have like more opportunities to share